The Philadelphia Flyers offense has been jolted into action. Led by John LeClair, the Flyers have scored 15 goals in their last 3 games, all victories. And with Pat Falloon and Sean Podine chipping in, the Flyers are getting production at precisely the right time. The Flyers are on a roll. They look to continue it against the Winnipeg Jets coming up next from the Winnipeg Arena. The sun is setting literally and figuratively on the Winnipeg Arena. Just 5 more regular season games will take place in this building before the Jets move to Phoenix. A portrait of England's Queen Elizabeth hangs from the rafters here at the Winnipeg Arena tonight. She'll get her final look at the orange and black of the Philadelphia Flyers. As for the final time ever, at least in the regular season, the Flyers take on the Winnipeg Jets. A pleasant good evening. I'm Jim Jackson along with Gary Dornhofer. Glad to be along with you. And I guess it's easy for the Flyers to get sentimental about this game, Gary, but on the other hand, they have more important things to worry about, such as winning this game, because it will mean a lot to them in the Eastern Conference standings. The Flyers are gaining ground on the teams above them.
And they certainly are, with the Rangers only winning 1 of their last 7. That's allowed Florida and Philadelphia to close the gap. The Florida Panthers have now won 3 straight. The Flyers 3 straight and unbeaten in 4. So there's quite a battle going for first place in the Atlantic Division. But the real battle for that final playoff spot, 3 teams are in the hunt: Jersey, Washington, Tampa Bay. So obviously every game that those guys play is very important to their hockey clubs.
Since we last spoke to you, the NHL's trading deadline is passed, and the Flyers did make some moves around the trading deadline. They've added 3 players, Gary, that they feel will help them down the stretch.
Dale Hawerchuk has fit in very nicely already, registering 5 points in the last couple of games. Druce has scored over 100 goals in his NHL career. Terry Murray was the coach when he played in Washington, and Kerry Huffman, a former first-round pick by the Flyers in '86, comes to the Flyers as probably an insurance policy.
And Kerry Huffman still recovering from the wrist injury. He'll be available to the Flyers in about a week's time. As for the Flyers, ago we were lamenting that the Flyers just could not put the puck in the net. Well, that has stopped, Gary, in a big way in the last 3 games. The Flyers getting a lot of offense, especially from this trio.
John LeClair has scored 6, Pat Falloon 4, and Podine 3. All have registered goals in 3 consecutive games. And they have scored 13 of the last 15 by the Flyers Hockey Club. John LeClair, when he's in that slot, he knows how to one-time it, and a lot of his goals are from that area. Pat Falloon relies a lot on that wrist shot and has really been on a hot streak. And Podine, it's like somebody jumped into his body. I tell you, he's playing excellent hockey, and because of the way he's playing, Coach Terry Murray has elevated him to the line of Rod Brindamore and also Pat Falloon.
While the Flyers are on a roll, the Winnipeg Jets are not. In fact, this is probably the worst of times for the Jets. They're winless in their last 6 games, and they perhaps hit their low point 2 nights ago here at the Winnipeg Arena when the San Jose Sharks came in and smoked them 7-1.
Well, we were here at the game, Jimmy, and for a game that was that important to the Jets, we couldn't believe how the hockey club performed. They did not use any physical contact against San Jose whatsoever. They seemed to be watching at all times, and of course, the crowd was booing all night. The papers ripped them, and as we look at the Western Conference standings, Detroit a class of their own, Colorado, Chicago close behind, but those are the top 3 positions. But again, near the bottom, that's where the battle really takes place. Edmonton and Anaheim trying to catch Winnipeg for that final playoff spot.
And Keith Tkachuk has missed the last 2 games for the Jets. He had been suspended. Back in the lineup tonight. He will help.
He is the real key to the Winnipeg Jets. Power forward. 2 consecutive years that he scored over 40 goals. This is his best year thus far.
The Flyers face the Jets for the final time. Opening face-off coming up. Tonight's Flyers-Jets game is brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. Hungry? Grab the book 9 out of 10 people use, the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. You'll have a pizza delivered by Intermission. By Core States and Core States Direct, the shortest distance between you and your money. By your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. By your local McDonald's restaurants. Have you had your break today? And by Mountain Dew, do the do. Back with the opening face-off and the start of tonight's game after these messages.
They say strange things happen in small towns.
A hungry wife with a deadly passion.
I won't kill her for you.
A deranged husband trapped in a nightmare.
He was in the war. Some guys just can't take it.
A lethal love triangle that threatens to tear their lives apart. Keith Carradine, Karen Allen, and Bernie Casey in a gripping drama where passions explode in a fatal backfire.
Saturday at 5 on WB 17.
Life's adventures can take you anywhere, and it's so much easier to get there in a Ford Explorer with switch-on all-wheel drive. It's the top-selling sport utility with standard dual airbags, as well as the roomiest interior. Plus, Explorer has the highest quality of any compact sport utility.
Your Ford dealers, the driven one.
The new Ford Explorer, far and away the best the world has to offer.
From U.S. Healthcare, a program created especially for the Delaware Valley. It's called Quality Point of Service, and it means freedom. The freedom to select any doctor or hospital you want and still be covered. Quality Point of Service also includes all the great preventive benefits and wellness programs that have made U.S. Healthcare this area's leading health plan. It's affordably priced and committed to quality because it's from the leader in managed care. That's why over 2 million members depend on us for a healthier way of life. U.S. Healthcare. You'll feel better with us.
Tonight's first period from the Winnipeg Arena is brought to you by U.S. Healthcare. Our members enjoy comprehensive coverage for preventive care. That's why you'll feel better with U.S. Healthcare. Sellout crowd on hand. They have not had sellouts on a regular basis here in Winnipeg, this being a lame duck season, but they have drawn pretty well considering all of the aspects of this franchise move.
And for the Philadelphia Flyers, goaltender Ron Hextall, whose 2.2 goals against average is third best in the National Hockey League, will give the start for the Flyers. Dominic Roussel, a former Flyer, making his second start with the Winnipeg Jets. And a former also goaltender for the Flyers, Pete Peters, has been working with Roussel. And the main topic of the conversation is standing up and not going to his knees.
There's your referee, Terry Gregson, the veteran. Ready, Eric Lindros against Craig Janney to get this one underway. Flyers looking to make it 4 consecutive wins and 5 in a row without a loss. So they start a line of Lindros, John Druce, the newest of the Flyers, and John Leclerc. The puck is fired all the way down. This will be an early icing on Philadelphia as Brent Thompson goes back for the touch-up.
Looking at the Chrysler keys to the game, the Jets took a lot of heat from everybody with their performance against San Jose, so you can expect them to come out in the first 10 minutes, and that's where the Flyers really have to weather the storm. And I imagine that it will be a physical game by the Jets. Flyers have to respond. The real key guy to the Jets attack is Kachuk, a pure power forward.
Flyers have Lindros, Hawerchuk, and Leclerc out, with Michael Renberg out because of the injury to his abdomen area, and also Joel Otto out. But it is going to be Hawerchuk, Lindros, and Leclerc as a line. Lindros gets drilled down on the check by Kachuk, but the Flyers do have the puck moving up. Here's Terrien. They'll shuffle it into the Winnipeg zone. They were going to call it icing. It could have been a bad call, but it doesn't matter because Roussel touches. Play carries on. Kachuk to Janney. Janney in his second game as a member of the Jets. Drop pass, Bruce, and John LeClair there to steal, but he turns it over to Finley, the ex-Flyer, who gives it right back to the Flyers. Hawerchuk his pass for Lindros, misses him, goes all the way down. Roussel plays the puck aside. It eludes Finley. Hawerchuk kicks it back behind the Jets net. LeClair comes in, bumps into Teppo Newman. LeClair centering, deflects back to the line, kept in. Swoboda with a shot blocked, and it rolls out to center. Races on, and out comes Ron Hextall. He'll play it away from Tkachuk to the center zone. LeClair tried to get himself onside. The puck winds up on the stick of Swoboda. And now Dykhouse. Dykhouse to Bruce. Back to Dykhouse. Carl waiting, carrying it in. And now rolling it around the boards. Trent Platt goes after it. It eludes him. And Igor Korolev able to steer it out to center. Racing for the puck, Dykhouse. And not able to tie him up. But back is Bruce. And Bruce acquired from the Los Angeles Kings. Gives the puck to Swoboda. Peter Swoboda now outletting Bruce with a nice move. Still has the puck, trying to hand it to Corkum, but it's tipped away, and Dave Manson banks it out to the red line.
One thing about the ice surface here, it is very quick. The boards are very lively, so if you ever get a winger going on the tack down the wing, the centerman can really make it very easy for him with that bank off the boards for a good scoring chance.
Brent Thompson winds it into the Philadelphia zone. Hextall will stop it, and Kevin Haller picks up the puck. Haller to Desjardins. Greg Desjardins fluttering one airborne to the line. Dallas Eakins just acquired from St. Louis. Shuffled it back through the neutral zone, but there's Haller. Haller to Podine, and he'll redirect it into the Winnipeg zone. Just over 2 minutes in, scoreless. First period from Winnipeg. Pat Falloon with a check on Eakins. The puck bounces free to the corner. Mike Eastwood is there, but Brindamore gets to the puck. Brindamore bumped by Chris King. Kicks the puck to the corner. Podine's after it. It's Podine, Falloon, Brindamore. Brindamore back to the point. Desjardins shot. Save Roussel. It bounces high in the air. And Mike Stapleton finds King. Quickly for Eastwood, he overskates and now just swings it into the Philadelphia zone. Hextall stopping the puck for Haller. Haller up the boards to LeClair. LeClair finds Desjardins. Chipping it right wing. It's intercepted by Eastwood, and that makes the play offsides. Let's take a look at the players not performing in this game tonight.
Well, Michael Redberg and Joe Lotto are two guys that the Flyers need to have back in the lineup. Russ Romanek with a shield is skating. Terry Huffman will get the cast off sometime next week. For the Winnipeg Jets, Olchuk, a good goal scorer, is out. And Gillen Uni McIver, a defenseman that picks up a lot of points, is out. Well, one of the power forwards, Tkachuk, one thing he does very well, not only score goals, but he can throw his weight around, as was demonstrated against Eric Lindros.
Tkachuk is back out. There's his pass for Janney. They're working together for the first time. And now it's Dallas Drake. Drake in the right wing, pushes it deep to Philadelphia ice. Tkachuk checked by Samuelson. Now Janney. Janney and Lindros. And Samuelson and Tkachuk. Samuelson has the arm right around Tkachuk. Gregson's just looking on. Now Lindros shoved Janney out of the way, plays the puck up the board, tips back in front of the net. Here's Janney holding, pass, Bruce, shot, and Hextall makes the save. And Hawerchuk heads the other way. Dale Hawerchuk has spent his first 9 years in the NHL playing for the Jets, and he's stopped as our Lindros and LeClair. Now Hawerchuk picks it up, points it, fires, and Roussel makes the blocker bad save. Finley to the puck. Hawerchuk tips it away from him. LeClair is in. LeClair now spinning away from the check. LeClair pushing it to Lindros. They end up too congested, unable to merge with the puck, and it's Finley getting to Drake, who just plays it out to center.
One thing, when Lindros and LeClair are in the offensive zone checking, you always know that Dale Hawerchuk will be back in the defensive position. So we are scoreless. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Hello.
How's your butt ice? Doobie.
That's the third one tonight.
It's okay. The police are tracing the call. Hello.
This is the police. Those calls are coming from inside the house. Repeat, those calls are coming from inside the house.
Drink Bud Ice, but beware of the penguins.
Sir?
Before you buy that new Ford Explorer, let's compare it to this Chevy Blazer. Come with me.
You'll find Blazer offers the largest displacement V6 in any truck, standard. And right now, a special factory offer means you could drive a new Blazer for only $299 a month. That's right, lease a 96 Blazer with 4-wheel drive, 4 doors, air conditioning, stereo, and more, all for just $299 a month. What are you waiting for?
See your Chevy Geo dealers today.
numbers and the history between these two clubs, which effectively will end tonight unless these teams meet in the playoffs, which would have to be the Stanley Cup Finals. For the Flyers, serious edge all time and even have the edge in this building. Winnipeg Jets become the Phoenix. We're not quite sure what the nickname will be next year as they'll play at the America West Arena down in Arizona. Dave Manson out at Chad Kilger. Kilger to Shane Doan. On the first-round pick of the Jets last year's draft. Stop, but there's big Jim McKenzie to get to the puck. Quinn wraps him up. McKenzie big and strong, though, and he works free from Quinn. Kicks the puck behind the net. Quinn is able to get to the puck. Now Quinn for DeMaio. And DeMaio finds Svoboda on the rush. Svoboda quickly for Antoski. It was too far ahead of him. The icing lets the Flyers get there. Goes off Antoski. Skates and noisy. DeMaio rides a man in. No call. Flyers after the puck now. DeMaio watches as Antoski plays it. Antoski waiting. Spins it back to Quinn. Flyers are all along the same side of the ice. DeMaio now, as they spread out, is taken into the boards by Thompson and Kilger. Able to play it out of the zone. Dykhouse brings it back to get to it. Dykhouse now maneuvering up and just chipping in. Flyers in the middle of a line change. Brindamore, Podine, and DeMaio out right now. DeMaio has to get off the ice to complete the change. Holler's back at his own blue line playing to Dykhouse. Dykhouse got the puck to Brindamore. Brindamore for Pat Falloon. Falloon has the puck hop over his stick. And now he's ridden in by Tverdovsky. The puck around the boards, and Darren Shannon is there. Got it up the boards and out. And down behind the play is Tverdovsky of Winnipeg, and he is in some pain, and so Gregson blows the play dead as Tverdovsky needs some attention.
I did not see what happened. I was following the play up the ice, but he doesn't seem to be cut or anything. We don't see any blood on the ice, so I'm sure that he will be back very shortly playing a regular position. Thus far, the Jets have played a pretty good first period as the Flyers have only been able to get one shot on goal. Good protection. Let's see, Pat Falloon's stick, I believe, they make contact with the face.
No.
Is it Podine?
I think it might be his teammate's stick, actually. Podine's stick appears to be on the ice right there. Falloon's stick was low, but a stick did get Tverdovsky, but he does not appear to be seriously cut. He doesn't seem to be cut at all. First State Center will be opening this summer, and now is the time to get club box seats, which provide lower-level seating and great amenities. They're selling out fast, so call the Flyers Premium Seating Department at 215-389-9500.
Now for the Philadelphia Flyers, they were 5-3-2 in their last 10 games.
Desjardins stopped at his own line. Shamnoff back after him. Desjardins carries behind his own net. Was to Podine. Podine double teamed by a couple of Jets, and it's Igor Korolev to the puck. Korolev all the way around behind. Backhander save. Ekstall. And now Sean Podine with a goal in each of his last three gets to center, and that's as far as he gets the puck poked up into the Flyers bench, stopping that rush.
Now the Jets with Korolev getting a good shot on goal was the result of referee Gregson really setting up a pick that didn't allow the Flyers' Desjardins to make contact with him. But from that angle, not much chance of getting it past Hextall. See that Gregson interfered with Desjardins, preventing him from making contact with Korolev.
He had elevated that puck, Gary. There might have been room, but the puck did not get off the ice, and Hextall had the lower portion of the net really taken care of. And speaking of taking care of business, Flyers against teams with losing records, an outstanding record, and the Winnipeg Jets are 7 games below 500. This qualifies. In fact, this is the middle part of a stretch of 8 consecutive games for the Flyers against teams with losing records. Corkum loses the puck in the neutral zone, and Kjell Samuelsson goes back to get to it. Banking, that eludes Druce. Eakins a kick at it. Druce plays to Corkum now. Corkum, though, unable to control again, and Eastwood plays it up in the right way for Stapleton, and winds it. Fires save, Hextall. He'll gather and hang on with a couple of Jets coming in at him.
Well, for goaltender Hextall, again, looking very sharp, very focused on the hockey game. He did not practice this morning, but had an excellent workout. Seems to be all the flow and congestion was over on the left side, and that left the right side open for a good scoring chance. Tonight's game is brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL.
Hextall from the Winnipeg area. We're still waiting for the parade to take place.
There wasn't even a welcoming committee.
He was a little upset. But seriously, though, autograph Howes really after Ron Hextall, and also Pat Falloon, who's from Foxwarren, Manitoba, which is about 3 hours away from here. The two Manitobans on the Flyers roster getting plenty of attention in the Flyers' 2.5-day stay. Dallas Eakins drilling the puck in and around. Makes its way all the way out to center. Brindamore was on his way to the bench. Tverdovsky to Eakins. Back to Tverdovsky. He was acquired in the Solani trade along with Chad Kilger. Drops it off for Eastwood. He'll ram it deep into Philadelphia ice. Klatt and Stapleton come together. Klatt gives to Terrian. Now for Druce. Druce plays it back to Klatt, and the Flyers are on the rush. Trent Klatt winds and fires. That goes off of Tverdovsky to the corner. Klatt back after it. He and Tverdovsky to the boards. In to get the puck is Druce. John Druce behind the net. Tried to center, blocked off by Roussel. Now Klatt to the puck. Trent Klatt moves to the corner. Klatt now turns back, looks to reverse, and his poke checked, and that allows Tverdovsky to play the puck to the corner, but Klatt's back after it again. Klatt looking, trying to center, but it goes off a leg, and Tverdovsky will play it back to the boards. Druce anticipates that move. Druce with the steal, and the Flyers line here of Klatt, Druce, and Corkum had the Jets bottle up for a good 30 seconds. Now Haller has to go back into his own zone to get it. Just over 7 minutes in to this first period, still scoreless as Desjardins cuts the puck off in the neutral zone. It's to Haller. Haller now to Falloon. And Pat Falloon will blast in. After it is Podine, he and Madsen. Madsen kicks it behind the net and then gets to the puck, but Podine stays right with him. The pass to Janney. Now Kachuk is 3-on-2. Here's Janney, right wing for Drake. Drake is in. His pass across. Dykhouse got a piece of it. Then the shot deflected and went high and wide. Janney tries to center. Dykhouse got a piece of that. Podine couldn't clear. Thompson keeps it into Janney. Janney plays it to Kachuk. He lets it go, and Drake is there. Drake tries to center. Blocked off by Svoboda. Puck in there, skates. Now Drake to Janney. Janney centers. Kachuk shot. Save! Hextall with a glove. Then he hangs on, and then the pushing and shoving begins. That is a sparkler, though, by Ron Hextall to keep this game scoreless.
And their last game against San Jose, the Jets did not have scoring chances like that, but with the Kachuk back in the lineup, they have made things very interesting.
Before you buy that new Ford Explorer, let's compare it to this Chevy Blazer. Come with me.
You'll find Blazer offers the largest displacement V6 in any truck, standard. And right now, a special factory offer means you could drive a new Blazer for only $299 a month. That's right, lease a 96 Blazer with 4-wheel drive, 4 doors, air conditioning, stereo, and more, all for just $299 a month. What are you waiting for?
See your Chevy Geo dealers today.
You know us. We're Core States Bank. But you may not know about our new Core States check card. See? Looks like a credit card. But it's not, because it works like a check, only easier. The amount you spend wherever you see a Visa sign is automatically deducted from your checking account. So there's no bill at the end of the month. Ever. Is that easy or what? Sign up for your Core States check card today. Oh, I forgot. The card that works like a check, only easier.
Well, we're just shy of 8 minutes, and the best save of the evening was by goaltender Ron Hextall against their leading scorer Kachuk, vying for his 43rd goal.
Jeff Finley, a shot deflected, and it went wide. Janney got his stick on that. Now Shel Samuelson starts back. His pass for Leclerc. Leclerc gets in, then taken down. But no call as play carries on. Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk centers. Lindros' shot blocked by Finley. Lindros now takes a man in. Rex is really letting him play here in the early going. Leclerc tips. Hawerchuk tried to get to it. Finley takes Leclerc down. That is called. Oh, the crowd not happy, and neither is Jeff Finley with a decision by Terry Gregson, but the Flyers get the first power play of the game.
Now, Gregson let it go the first time, but when Finley did it the second time, Gregson thought, well, I better call this one. So the first power play opportunity goes to the Flyers, but again, the strong forechecking behind the net as Leclerc was trying to turn. The stick of Finley was between his legs. And so Jeff Finley, former Flyer, will sit and watch as the Flyers go on the power play, and they have been hot.
You want the good news or the bad news? Which do you want first?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the bad news.
Well, I got to mention it. The good news, of course, the Flyers 6 of their last 9 overall in the power play. The bad news is on the road, they're 0 for their last 29. So they want to put an end to one streak and keep another one going. There's your McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Eric Desjardins gets the puck to Lindros. Lindros, Leclerc, and Quinn up front with Hawerchuk and Desjardins. Quinn Playing the puck to Hawerchuk. Back to Desjardins. One-timer deflected and it went wide. Quinn now to Hawerchuk. 0-4 assist already for Hawerchuk. Lindros, his shot is blocked. Bounces to Leclerc. Now to Quinn. And Quinn tucks it back to Leclerc. Up the board by Quinn. Hawerchuk at the point. Plays it right back to Quinn. Now Quinn cross ice Desjardins. Winds it, fires, and that one knocked aside in front. Quinn back to the puck. Plays it to Lindros. Lindros to Hawerchuk. Fakes the pass. Desjardins fired it high and wide and on its own. It'll go all the way down the ice. But great puck movement by the Flyers.
Excellent movement by the Flyers.
They're back for more as Lindros moves in very quickly. Tkachuk wraps him up. Hawerchuk kept it in. Lindros got it to Leclerc. Leclerc centering for Quinn, but it was tipped and it went airborne. Now it bounces to Quinn. And Quinn will just turn it back deep into the Winnipeg zone. Newman, it cuts it up, but played it right to Lindros. In front, the backhander save, rebound. Quinn, he scores! Dan Quinn breaks the goal-scoring drought. He had gone 12 straight, a power play tally. It is 1-0 Philadelphia.
Well, you want to hear the good news and the good news right now?
Go
Flyers
for it.
are 7 for 10, and they have scored a goal after 29 consecutive times on the road. So an excellent start in the power play. I'll tell you what, Jim, they really deserved it. They worked extremely hard. Both Lindros and Leclerc banging away at it. And Dominic Roussel actually gave the puck away himself by shoveling it forward, trying to poke check it. There it is, shovel it forward, and Lindros just tipped it to Dan Quinn, and the Flyers have the lead on the power play.
It had been a long time coming for Dan Quinn, but Flyers would love to have him start producing as well and join the goal-scoring parade. So the Flyers get the all-important first goal. Back to five-a-side hockey as Svoboda chips for Corkum. Corkum to Klatt. Klatt now plays it ahead to Druce. And offside at the Winnipeg line go the Flyers, and so play is called. Well, Flyer fans, you can enter the great Mitsubishi Spider Eclipse convertible giveaway. That's during one of the intermissions of the April 11th Flyers Montreal game. One lucky fan will have the chance to drive away in a brand new car. Just stop by the local Mitsubishi dealer before April the 1st to register and get details.
Now, what has been impressive about the Flyers this year, not only doing so well in the power play, they're over 20% now, but even strength. They've scored 143 even strength goals, allowed 111, so that's a plus 32. That'll win you some games.
Leclerc and Lindros get the assists. Lindros has tied his career high for points in a season. He now has 97, so his next point gives him his best offensive year of his 4-year career. Face-off upcoming to the left of Dominic Roussel as the puck was tied up.
Yeah, Jim, all the players certainly understood what was going on with the Winnipeg Jets, especially after the way they played against San Jose. They expected a very tough game. They were ready at the drop of the puck and really weathered the storm. Terry Simpson, I asked him this morning, I said, could you tell during warm-up, how your team is going to play? I said, I had no indication. I really thought that this was an important game for us against San Jose, and no one, not one guy, played well.
Kevin Haller, shot save. Roussel rebound, tipped right to Antoski. Antoski will play it back toward the point. Haller could not keep it in. And as he plays it into the zone, it's offsides. Just 2 seconds past the halfway point of this first period. The Flyers with a 1-0 lead.
Now for Kevin Haller also get involved in the offensive flow. He's registered 3 points in his last 4 games. But more importantly, he is one of 9 players that is in double figures in plus. He is a plus 11 for the year.
Quinn, DeMaio, and Antoski. The line for the Flyers. Antoski had been out of the lineup for the last 4 games, bothered by a sore shoulder. The Jets drill it in. It comes right back out. Finally, Tverdovsky sees the puck. Gets to Janney. Janney missed it. Lindros picks it up. Runs into Tkachuk, but there's Desjardins with it. Desjardins, another turnover as Brink is able to steal, but it bounces to Kevin Haller. Haller, instead of clearing, tries to stick handle back. Now Lindros is there. Lindros quickly to Desjardins. Desjardins passing the money to Hawerchuk. They call that offsides. I beg to differ. But offsides, indeed, the call that sticks. It's the guy in the striped shirt that has the final ruling.
Well, it's always interesting to talk to players about new players coming to the organization, and everyone speaks very highly about Dale Hawerchuk and what he's accomplished and what he can still do to help. Power play, point. He said he enjoys playing that position. He's done it a lot. He never got that opportunity playing for Keenan in St. Louis. But immediately, as soon as he arrived on the scene, Terry Murray placed him in that position of importance. And he certainly didn't let anybody down.
And you'll hear more from Dale during our first intermission as we have a chance to talk with him about several subjects. Flyers have the puck. Is John Druce getting plenty of ice time in his first period as a Flyer. Plays it in. Corkum and Finley dueling for the puck. Skitters free to Newmanin. Newmanin gets to Jim McKenzie. McKenzie's outlet not handled by Kilger. Desjardins back for Corkum, and Corkum twists it in to the Winnipeg zone. Back goes Newmanin. Druce tips the puck. Corkum jumps on it. Corkum back for Druce. Druce centered. Klatt reaching for it, but it was poked away. And now McKenzie has it. Jim McKenzie just bounce one into the Philadelphia zone. Hextall comes out, plays it away from Kilger. Klatt is there. Klatt rolling it around the boards, pinching his Thompson. Druce trying to work the puck out of the zone. Couldn't. McKenzie keeps it in, but Kilger could not reach it behind the net. And he's hearing some boos from the fans now as the Flyers third up and move out with it. Corkum getting it to the left wing and then steering it in as he took a hit from Kilger. Then Corkum pushed Kilger in. Doan comes over. Now another shot thrown Corkum's way from Korolev. Thompson comes in and gives Corkum a push from behind. And all of the Jets are after Bob Corkum. And the reason why, well, this is it right here, as he almost sent a Jets player into the bench. Chad Kilger beat the Winnipeg Jets bench.
You haunt me, my friend. Everywhere I go, you're there. Kiev, Buenos Aires, Budapest. But not this time. At long last, victory is mine.
Doobie, doobie, doo, doo, doo.
Drink Bud Ice, but beware the Penguins.
Before you buy that new Ford Explorer, let's compare it to this Chevy Blazer. Come with me.
You'll find Blazer offers the largest displacement V6 in any truck, standard. And right now, a special factory offer means you could drive a new Blazer for only $299 a month. That's right, lease a 96 Blazer with 4-wheel drive, 4 doors, air conditioning, stereo, and more, all for just $299 a month. What are you waiting for?
See your Chevy Geo dealers today.
Sunday at 7, there are two mice that want to take over the world. One is a genius, the other's insane. Catch Pinky and the Brain only on WB17, the home of the WB television network. Corkum was actually just trying to get out of the way, and then Doan comes in there, a little extracurricular activities. Flyers will enjoy another power play.
Bruce Alkins of Philadelphia, the McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Flyers with their second man advantage, successful on their first. 7 of their last 10. Newman in, stripped from behind by Leclerc. Cross ice, Lindros tried to center, it bounces to Leclerc, shot just wide. Rebound Finley after it, it bounces to Roussel, and Roussel hangs on. The Flyers suddenly rejuvenated power play. Eric Lindros is happy to have Dale Hawerchuk because it has certainly helped out the man advantage. And Eric Lindros and the rest of his mates are taking advantage of that with all these power play goals.
We changed the power play up a little bit, and guys pretty much grip it and rip it, and that's what I look forward to doing. And when that pass coming in so soft, you know, either off his stick or corner stick or from Johnny, we'll hopefully have some fun on it.
Last time I heard that grip it and rip it was John Daly when he talks about his long drives.
Here's Desjardins passing to Hawerchuk, moving in along the board slightly. Now Hawerchuk surveying. Quinn to Hawerchuk, back to the point. Desjardins, one-timer! And that one, I think, hit Leclerc and went wide. Good job. Flyers keep it in. Desjardins to Hawerchuk. Plays it out of his skates and fires it to Leclerc. Now Quinn. Quinn holding on. Back to Hawerchuk. To Desjardins. Desjardins looking things over now. To Quinn. In front is Leclerc. Lindros roaming through the slot. Hawerchuk to the puck. Hawerchuk playing it to Quinn. Now Quinn up the boards, takes a hit. And Eakins trying to force it free, but it's Lindros to it. Lindros taken down, centers to Leclerc. Leclerc back to the point, Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk cross ice to Desjardins. In front for Lindros, but he couldn't control it, and Tkachuk is able to clear it all the way down. 37 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Pass comes quickly to Hawerchuk. For Leclerc, now Lindros, and he'll play her deep. Brindamore has joined the power play. Now he's taken down. Goes into the net. The net comes off its moorings. Gregson simply points to center ice for the faceoff. That is not a penalty.
Boy, Chris King got away with one there. The captain of the hockey club stuck his stick out and Rod Brindamore ended up in the net. And as we're going forward, keep an eye on Rod Brindamore. Stop it right there. Now you're going to see the stick get right between the legs of Rod Brindamore and just spill him right down. Unfortunately, it doesn't count.
They called it.
Oh, they did call it. I didn't see his arm up.
His arm clearly did not go up there. I don't know where the call came from, but the Flyers aren't complaining.
Oh.
King for tripping. Although maybe he was pointing to the penalty bench when it looked like he was pointing to center zone for the face-off. But that was a pretty good changeup thrown at us by Terry Gregson.
Yeah, I did not see the arm go up. King is shaking his head. You know, when you're playing at home, you need to win hockey games. The last thing you need to do is take a lot of penalties, especially the way the Flyers have been operating on the power play. I mean, they have had good movement. Still trying to get Lindros for that one-timer. He's been working more towards the slot, trying to get in between the defensemen and the forwards. Thus far, Winnipeg has been able to keep him from getting the puck in that area.
Two-man advantage for 24 seconds. Flyers will need to hurry the puck into the to take advantage of the two-man power play. Here is Hawerchuk moving it in to Lindros. Lindros holds back to Desjardins. Now Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk very calculating in every move. Hawerchuk back to Lindros. The shot blocked. A stick came out of the hand of Stapleton, but he kicks the puck out and out of the penalty bench is down to away. Big play there. The Jets would have been down to just two players with sticks, but now they have four as Leclerc moves in, pushes it to Winnipeg ice. Manson couldn't clear. Hawerchuk jumps in the puck. Cross ice pass for Lindros, intercepted by Drake and clear. Hawerchuk's always looking for Lindros, looking to set him up. Minute and 8 seconds remaining on the 5-on-4. Lindros fires it to the right wing. Dykhouse is there, chips it in. Manson's back for it. He'll wind up and blast. Got it airborne all the way down into Philadelphia ice. Svoboda having to race back with Drake on his tail. There's the latest McDonald's power play payoff contestant, Nick Herman. There's Lindros, tipped it, and that makes Falloon onside. The breakaway, Falloon deeks and fanned. He fanned on it. Now he's centered for Brindamore. It bounces back to Svoboda. Svoboda to Brindamore. Brindamore. Dykhouse. Svoboda, they go around the horn with it. Now Lindros' pass in tight quarters, tipped by Tkachuk, kept in by Svoboda. Brindamore now forces it deep. Brindamore poking for Falloon. Falloon behind the net with it. Comes free, played it back for Brindamore. Brindamore now to Lindros. Lindros holding on, centered that one off a skate. Bounces, here's Dykhouse with a wrister, kick, save Roussel. Power play over in 15 seconds. Lindros to Svoboda. Back to Lindros. To Brindamore, slot shot high. And now a chance to clear for Drake, and he does. And that'll do it. Miss out on a chance to build for their 1-0 lead. It's back to five-a-side hockey. Dykhouse. And Dykhouse clears it from his side of the red line deep to Winnipeg ice. That is icing as Newman in touches up. So the Jets hearing it from the crowd. They've weathered the storm of a two-man Flyers advantage. They still trail by 1.
Before you buy that new Ford Explorer, let's compare it to this Chevy Blazer. Come with me.
You'll find Blazer offers the largest displacement V6 in any truck, standard. And right now, a special factory offer means you could drive a new Blazer for only $299 a month. That's right, lease a 96 Blazer with 4-wheel drive, 4 doors, air conditioning, stereo, and more, all for just $299 a month. What are you waiting for?
See your Chevy Geo dealers today.
Hugh McAddick here with presidential hopeful Mike Hall. Mike, what are your views on McDonald's Filet-O-Fish and McChicken sandwich?
Well, I stand for the... What?
Don't you just love them? And they're on sale. Right now, get a Filet-O-Fish or McChicken for just 89 cents when you buy large fries.
That's great, but America craves change.
That's why I crave them. They're a great change of pace. Or in the morning, get a sausage McMuffin with egg for 89 cents.
But what about the issues? Issues?
Bless you. The Great American Sandwich Sale for a very short time at McDonald's.
Right from his own end, Rod Brindamore sends the puck up the middle. Lindros just tips it enough to keep this one onside again for Pat Falloon. And I think Pat wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and then finally went to the forehand, and the puck just slid off his stick.
Had the best chance for the Flyers in their extended power play time.
And Jim, the way he's been going, he's one guy you want. One goaltender.
No doubt about that. Here's Brindamore, rink wide. Therien got it ahead to Druce. Druce was tied up. The puck skips to Winnipeg ice. Tverdovsky leaving on board, now picking it up. Now Tverdovsky trying to rev it up to the neutral zone. He can skate, and Druce made that one look too obvious. Got the free arm out. Tverdovsky went down, and you knew with the Flyers having had 3 successive power plays that Gregson wasn't going to allow that. Druce will visit the sin bin, and the Jets get their first power play.
Now that all happened because of the tremendous speed of Tverdovsky. I mean, he was moving from his own zone, got those legs going, and so newcomer John Druce draws his first penalty in a Flyer uniform. Here's the youngster, part of the Solani trade, and the wraparound by Druce.
On Saturday, April the 6th at 1 p.m., Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages presents the Celebrity All-Stars against the Flyers alumni, featuring Bob Clark, Tim Kerr, Brad Marsh, and Dave Poulin. You're also welcome to join us for the post-game party at the Sheridan Society Hill. Tickets for both events available through Ticketmaster. Call 215-336-2000.
Now the Flyers are 4th best in the National Hockey League, killing off penalties, 2nd, while killing them off on the road.
Two-line pass called on the Flyers, in which Rod Brindamore did not touch the puck. Not quite sure. Linesman Randy Mittens watching here in the first period. Couple of calls that have been very mysterious indeed. Flyers do not like this call at all. Brindamore says, "For what? I didn't touch the puck." Samuelson fired the puck. He said, "No way he touched the puck." Instead of a clear, the Flyers have a face-off in their own zone.
And beware of number 7, Tkachuk. He's got 34 points on the power play. 18 have come by goals.
On the power play, as you said, and for Tkachuk, he is 3rd in the NHL with those 18 man advantage talents. Very good around the net. Jamnov moving up. There's Tkachuk. Tkachuk poke checked by Brindamore, carrying on his Jamnov. Got it to Drake. Drake left it for Newman. He rolls it deep. Hextall got a stick on it. It's centered in front. Tkachuk! Hextall got a piece of it and knocked it wide. And that went off of Samuelson. Podine couldn't clear it. Still behind the net. And now Podine gets another shot. He got it airborne, but he played it up over the glass and out of play. So they'll face it off in the Philadelphia zone. 1:18 remaining on the Winnipeg power play.
Well, that's the 2nd time that Hextall has taken a goal away from Tkachuk. Something similar to what happened to Lindros the other night. 14 shots on goal. Tkachuk to have a lot on that, but with Hextall to the side of the net, there was a lot of open net there, and puck just came right out in front, and Tkachuk tried to one-time it on the backhand. Hextall just recovered enough to steer it behind the net.
Whenever Ron Hextall leaves his crease, Shel Samuelson's eager to jump in there. He's going to don the pads one of these days in practice. Flyers able to clear all the way down. Roussel will get to Newman. Flyers changing penalty killers. Newman into Janney. Janney, a great setup man. Pass for Tkachuk, tipped away by Haller, and Kevin fires it all the way down. Go in on Dom. And Roussel getting his first start here in front of the Winnipeg fans. There's the puck to Newman. And Newman now out to center. Janney is there. Janney to Tkachuk. Played it back toward Janney. Keep it in the zone and get it airborne deep for Drake. Drake run by Desjardins. Drake goes down. Desjardins pokes the puck to DeMaio. Should clear, and he does. There's 38 seconds remaining in the man advantage. A little over 3 minutes remaining first period. Flyers with a 1-0 lead. Oh, Tkachuk, a great move around Brindamore. Wheels to the right wing and stops. Now Tkachuk sets it up to Jamnov. Jamnov to Newman in the shot. Kick save. Hextall. Shannon behind the net. Janney. Janney left alone. Centers Tkachuk. Shot save. Hextall. Flyers couldn't clear it. It's ricocheting around. Finally batted wide. Desjardins plays it. There's Newman way in from the point to keep it in deep to Janney. Janney centers. It's loose. Still loose. They score! Tkachuk hammering away in front. Power play goal. Tied at 1.
And Tkachuk, he hung in there. That's about the 4th good opportunity, and finally he notches goal number 43, 19 on the power play. But look at the positioning of Tkachuk. Just waiting, and finally through a scrum with Haller battling in front, the puck comes loose, and immediately Tkachuk just jumps on it. Jets had the Flyers outnumbered. Shannon and Tkachuk against Haller. Keith Tkachuk ties the game at 1 with 2:36 left in this first period.
Tkachuk, a career high 43 goals. Was making $6 million this year. Signed the big The offer sheet with Chicago, which the Jets matched. Goes up into the Flyer bench. His zone. Kachuk will then make in the vicinity of close to $2 to $3 million the rest of the long-term contract. But this year he's a $6 million man and he's playing like it.
Yeah, and because of the signing the offer sheet, he was stripped of the captaincy. Chris King taking over in that way.
1-1 hockey game. 2.5 remaining. Manson drills one in just wide of Hextall. Bounces right out in front. Donut shot save made, and Hextall will jump on top of the puck. Eastwood taken down by Samuelson. Gets up and puts the glove right in Samuelson's face, right in front of Gregson. And Gregson lecturing Eastwood. At this point, I do not believe is called a penalty. Well, hats off to the Philadelphia Flyers for every hat trick scored. Flyers, Core States Bank, makes a contribution to the Flyers Lives Fight for Lives Carnival.
A little battle with Samuelson and Eastwood. Shots are even. The score is tied at 1. Both goaltenders have made some excellent saves here in this first period.
Finley can't keep the puck in. The puck really bouncing, and now he just plays it deep into the Philadelphia zone. Samuelson taking play it up the boards for Leclerc. Leclerc checked by Finley. The puck out to Manson. He banked it off of Lindros into the Flyers bench. Another neutral zone draw ahead. Not the same Jets team that we witnessed the other night when we came to the San Jose Winnipeg contest.
You better believe it. I mean, they're starting to charge it. Flyers trying to rock them against the glass. And in the game against San Jose Wednesday night, there was absolutely no body contact whatsoever by the Jets. All they did was stood around and watched. Terry Simpson, of course, he had no explanation, the reason why, especially the magnitude of that hockey.
Terry Simpson, of course, coached the Flyers back in 93-94. Only 4 Flyers remaining from when Terry Simpson was the head coach. And it was less than 2 years ago. Here's Terrian now for Samuelson. DeMaio's there as well. Rob DeMaio is one of those 4. Along with Lindros, Brindamore, and Renberg. Terrian's out by Eakins. Samuelson to it. This is DeMaio with the pass at center. McKenzie swats it to the Philadelphia zone. Terrian picks it up. Here's Terrian now. Pokes it into Winnipeg ice. After DeMaio got it to Quinn. The quick shot kicks a rebound. And Toski beaten to the puck by McKenzie, who may have saved a goal. Now the counterattack is Korolev. The former St. Louis Blue maneuvers and blasts in. All the way around. Just lets it go as it bounces out to the red line. Brent Thompson there plays it back in. Hextall cuts it off. Swoboda. Dykhouse up the boards for DeMaio. And DeMaio outlets. Deshaun Podine. Podine to the Winnipeg zone. Manson plays it there. The penalty minute leader for this club. Swings it to Thompson. Now to Darren Shannon. Shannon's pass fluttering through the neutral zone. Swoboda. Back. Swoboda plays it to Dykhouse. Dykhouse banks. Did get it to center. Puck bouncing around. Balloon jumps on it. Balloon moving in. Balloon will wind and fire. Save. Rusella there, but Podine can't quite get there. Instead, Shannon tips to Jamnov. Jamnov to the play. Very shifty player. Works his way deep. All the way around behind. Dykhouse to control him. Jamnov now taken down. Penalty call. Carries on delay. Shannon control. Shannon around the net. It's the puck now to Jamnov. Extra attacker on. Dykhouse grabs Jamnov. Flyers need. Finally hollered. And the whistle blows. 18.4 seconds remaining in the period. The Jets will get their second man advantage.
Now Jamnov, a very elusive player. I mean, he can dive with the best of them and showed a lot of good spin moves and finally forced a penalty. Dykhouse taking the penalty against Jamnov, who has not scored a goal since March the 1st. He has not been feeling very well for the last 5 or 6 games. But with all the injuries that the Jets have suffered, he's still in the lineup.
By the way, just cleaning up some old business, Janney and Numminen get the assist on the goal by Kachuk for Janney, his first point as a Winnipeg Jet. Now another power play. And here's Numminen. Flipping one that's deflected by Desjardins. Bouncing around again in that dangerous area. Brindamore finally knocks it out of the way and then blasted and nearly decapitated Captain Lindros. But it made its way all the way down, and Eric escaped unscathed as time runs out. in period number 1. So each team lights the lamp with a power play tally here in the first period. Quinn for the Flyers, Kachuk for the Winnipeg Jets. We're tied at 1:41. A power play time remaining for the Jets when the second period starts.
Now this could be a real battle of specialty teams. Both teams know how to put the puck in the net come power play time. It'll be interesting to see how they do defensively. But 11-9, Flyers outshot the Winnipeg Jets. They're tied at 1.
Now the Flyers head off, looking forward to that second period of action. Tonight's first period from Winnipeg was brought to you by Mountain Dew. There's nothing more intense than slamming a Mountain Dew, do the do. And by your Philadelphia Metro Chrysler Plymouth dealers, who invite you to stop in and test drive the all-new Plymouth Breeze. We'll be back to hear from Dale Hawerchuk. Also check scores from out of town, recap first period. A lot coming up for you when we return to Winnipeg after these messages.
Sunday, Pinky's in Paris.
As of today, we are France. And soon, we are the world.
Are we the children? Then on the Parenthood, Nicholas and Cece are bugging Zaria.
Dad, what would you think if I had my own phone?
I think you have your own apartment. Now the whole family's under surveillance.
We taped you and Daddy last night.
The Parenthood after Pinky and the Brain.
Sunday at 7 on WB 17.
They get no kick being thrown from a plane. 1,000-foot fall doesn't thrill them at all. So tell me, why should it be true that they get a kick out of do?
All right, now.
What could possibly be as precise as the tolerances within one of the finest Swiss watches available? How about some of the tolerances within the engine and suspension of one of the finest automobiles available? The Lexus ES 300. Let others follow.
Good evening, I'm Tony Yates on the news at this hour. An FBI agent and suspected drug dealer apparently shot each other to death today during an undercover drug buy near Penn's Landing. Sources say the transaction gone bad was recorded on tape by the FBI agent who died. And the new $100 bill and why it's tough to counterfeit. Those stories plus a cold, clear weekend ahead on Inquirer News Tonight.
Tonight's news break is brought to you by Chevrolet.
Intermission report from Winnipeg. After one period of play, the Jets and Flyers tied at 1, each team scoring on the power play in a first period with plenty of spirit. Gary, we were both here for the game the other night between San Jose and Winnipeg. Not much life to that hockey game at all in any way. A lot of life to this one.
Now, that was an excellent period of hockey. I mean, the flow by both teams was excellent. Good passing, rushes up the ice, and the goaltenders, both Hextall and Dominic Roussel, made some excellent saves. And when you look at the power play of both teams, well executed, a lot of good movement, a lot of good puck control, and as I had said before, I think this game will be decided by the specialty teams.
The Flyers, of course, going against their ex-mate in Dominic Roussel. We saw a lot of Dominic. Any way to really beat him?
Well, I tell you what, Jim, with Dominic Roussel, when he stands up, he is a very capable goaltender. He gets in the problem by going down on his knees, and it leaves a lot of the net over his shoulders open, and he is not very good handling the puck. The first Flyer goal was the result of a giveaway by Dominic Roussel.
Well, the Flyers, as Gary mentioned, scored on the power play, 7 of the 10 there for a stretch on the power play. One of the reasons that power play is revitalized, one of the newcomers to the Flyers, Dale Hawerchuk. Dale Hawerchuk acquired, of course, from St. Louis for Craig McTavish. We had a chance to talk to Dale about several subjects yesterday. Here's what he had to say.
At first it was a bit of a shocker, and then I sort of sat down and thought about it, and I was real excited about it, but I knew it would be tough on the family for a couple months, but this was an opportunity that I was looking forward to. I think it's gone pretty smooth. I mean, first 3 games were home games. We won all 3, and you know, that's always good, you know, to come in and when the team's on a winning note. But I think this is a good hockey team, and you know, I just want to be a part of it, and if I can help make it better, then that's what I want to do. But by no means am I coming in here to, you know, say, you know, I want to play this or I want to play that. I just want to fit into this team, and I told Terry Murray, I mean, whatever role you want me to play, I mean, don't be hesitant to tell me which role you want. I mean, they're big, they're strong, and I think the best thing about it is that these guys really move the puck well. I mean, they pass well. Eric's a great passer. I mean, not only has he got a great shot, but I mean, he makes great plays. And Johnny, I mean, he's big and strong, quick, hard shot, goes to the net. These guys make the game fun to play with, I'll tell you. There's quite a bit of difference now in a sense where, you know, I'm a little older now. I stretch more, and I think when it comes to mental preparation, the game is that much quicker, and the players are that much bigger and stronger, and even the big guys can skate now. So I think the mental preparation is probably a little bit more. It's the money's a lot bigger. It's a real serious business now, and I think there's more preparation all around. I think I felt pressure in St. Louis just for the fact that Mike went out and signed me to the type of dollars that he did, and I really wanted to please him in a sense, to do the right job for him, and I think, you know, which sometimes can work for you or against you at certain times, but I think it strained our relationship a little bit, but at the same time, you know, that was only short-lived, and I just concentrate on playing. There's only so much you can control. You know, individual success is great, but I mean, you only celebrate it with yourself, and it's very short-lived. I mean, I've won 2 Memorial Cups, which are Canadian Junior Championships, and 2 Canada Cups. And I mean, there's nothing better than winning it all. And you know, I'd love a chance to win a Stanley Cup, and that's what motivates me now.
The reflections of Dale Hawerchuk, brought to you by Today's Man. The buyers for Today's Man travel to the fashion capitals of the world to bring you the season's best in menswear. Today's Man, unbeatable selection at unsurpassed savings. I'll be back to check scores from out of town when we return to Winnipeg after this.
At Honda, we don't think a car that's affordable and exceptional is too much to ask for. After all, the Accord has carved out a nice niche being exactly that. And now with 3.9% APR financing for up to 48 months, its affordability is more clear-cut than ever. In fact, it's an offer so solid, it's carved in stone. Get 3.9% APR financing for 48 months on any Accord.
Dodge Dakota is #1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. #1 in horsepower, #1 in torque, even #1 in towing. In fact, Dodge Dakota is ranked #1 in more categories versus any compact. So it should come as no surprise that across America, Dodge pickups are #1 in sales growth. Now get up to $3,500 off on Dodge Dakota, including $1,000 cash back.
Room 518 wants to give a speech that brings his company back to life.
Good morning. I had a speech written, but I think it's better I speak to you from my heart.
Marriott, when you're comfortable, you can do anything.
One penny down. Great leases, very little time on Protege. And $189, the B2300 SE. And $199, 626. And $209, Miata. A penny and $219. ends April 1st.
A 1-1 hockey game between the Jets and Flyers after 20 minutes of play at the Winnipeg Arena. Let's go elsewhere and check scores from out of town in the NHL. Montreal Canadiens continue to roll. They're in a 6-game unbeaten streak. They are ahead of Buffalo 1-0 in the first period as the Canadiens continue to charge up the Eastern Conference standings. Ottawa leading Hartford 1-0. That is a must-win for the Whalers in their bid for playoff contention. The New Jersey Devils fell behind the Chicago Blackhawks 3-0. They have cut into that, though. It is now 3-2 as the Devils look to get themselves back into playoff position. Detroit a goal and an assist from Steve Yzerman. They have the 2-goal lead over Colorado. Anaheim leading St. Louis 2-0. If Anaheim wins that game, Winnipeg loses this game. Anaheim jumps into playoff position later on. San Jose is at Calgary, and Dallas plays in Vancouver. Gary will check highlights of period number 1 from Winnipeg in just a moment.
We don't have time to show you all the reasons to take Amtrak's Metroliner to Washington. So for now, here are 17 of them. More departures every business day. Metroliner, the smarter shuttle.
The all-new Plymouth Voyager has easy-out roller seats that you can't get on any other minivan. And an exclusive driver-side sliding door. In fact, Voyager not only surpasses every other minivan on the road, but with a 3-liter, 150-horsepower V6 engine, it has 36 times the cargo space of a Porsche 911 for about a third the price. Now Plymouth Voyager, one of America's favorite minivans, is also the lowest priced.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3, Power Plus, and Power Premium gasolines are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks. And you may feel like you've left your old car behind.
Oh, add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
After driving through Botswana's never-ending supply of mud, we came upon the largest animal of the land, the African elephant. These massive creatures can plow over trees with the butt of their heads, and spectators best stand clear, for they can pick up objects weighing nearly 2 tons. The preceding has been brought to you by the powerful all-new Nissan Pathfinder, now with 20% more cargo room to help you haul big things around.
Unlike some shuttles, there are no middle seats on Amtrak's Metroliner, so the only thing you'll squeeze in is some work. Metroliner, the smarter shuttle.
The Philadelphia Flyers and the Winnipeg Jets are tied at 1. A very well-played first period, and both teams were able to capitalize on the power play. So let's not hesitate any longer and see how that materialized. The key to any power play is to do the strong forechecking. All right, let her go ahead. With John LeClair coming in, and Numminen lets the puck play him and slides right in front of the net. Now stop it right there. Now here is the scrum where John LeClair is actually going to get a shot on net. And then Lindros comes close. Stop it there. You can see that all Dominic Roussel had to do was grab a hold of it with his stick. Instead, he pushed it in this area with Quinn moving in a forward position, and he didn't hesitate and fired it right over the shoulder of Dominic Roussel. And the Winnipeg Jets on the power play. Also, Janney in front of the net just shovels it in front. The Winnipeg Jets had an overload and outnumbered the Flyers with Tkachuk notching a goal, and that tied the game at 1. So Quinn his 10th from Lindros and LeClair. Tkachuk number 43 from Numminen and Janney. Flyers outshot the Winnipeg Jets 11-9. We'll be back for the start of second period after.
Using this simple calculation, you can find the perfect sedan. Take a powerful 150 horsepower engine, add luxurious styling, then add praise to the highest power, a best buy from Consumer Digest. And that adds up to the Nissan Altima, the perfect sedan. Now lease the 96 Altima GXE with automatic transmission for $0 down and $229 a month for 39 months.
Almost ready, Dick?
Almost. The Liberty Edition Cadillac DeVille. Luxury features like a cabriolet roof,
chrome wheels, and gold ornamentation are all standard. You'll save over $2,500. Is that a typo?
Nope, you'll save over $2,500.
Only a limited supply, huh? Plus, register to win a luxurious weekend at the Greenbrier, America's resort.
Hey, where'd Dick go? His Cadillac Super Network dealer to take advantage of this limited time offer.
It's made us the biggest, the best, the most successful. We've been in business for 10 years, and we believe it's because we have this ad in the book. If you're going to spend your advertising dollars, the best place to spend it is in the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
You started the same year you decided?
The same day.
Oh, my.
Just twice as nice.
Twice as nice. How are you? Thank you for coming.
Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
The Infiniti i30 is truly an extraordinary luxury car. It has a revolutionary micro-finished V6 that can out-accelerate many luxury V8s. It comes with patented rear multi-link beam suspension that allows for superb handling. And it does something all $30,000 luxury cars should do. Perform.
Now, for a limited time, lease the Infiniti i30 with no down payment.
Back at the Winnipeg Arena, just about set for the start of second period action. The Jets start this second stanza with the man advantage. 1:41 remaining, and Dykhaus's holding penalty.
And again, Jim, the real key for the Winnipeg Jets is Tkachuk. He finds the areas where he can get free, and he's very effective either the forehand or the backhand, as was demonstrated on his first goal.
We apologize for some transmission problems we are having from Winnipeg. We're certainly working on it, trying to get you the best picture that we can. And the crew is, as I said, working on that diligently. Right now it's the Jets working on a power play. Newman in. Back to Jamnov. Newman in, Jamnov on the points. Tkachuk, Drake, Janney up front. And Brindamore with an ear steal. Puck does bounce right back to Jamnov, who maneuvers up with it. Jamnov to Dallas, Drake, and he'll wind it into the Philadelphia zone. Eludes Hextall, bounces to Newmanin, stuffs it to the corner. Desjardins got his stick on it. Newmanin plays it to Janney. Look for Tkachuk. It goes instead to Jamnov. Shot knocked down by the Flyers' Haller, and he clears. Halfway through the man advantage now. Minute remaining as Newmanin goes back. Eppo Newmanin, well over 500 games played in the NHL, all with Winnipeg. To Janney, now Tkachuk. Tkachuk's pass behind Drake. Drake will get it off the boards and roll it around for Janney. Janney center, but that goes right to Bob Corkum, who banks it all the way down.
Well, so far it's been very effective penalty killing for the Flyers, as they have not allowed the Jets to set up in their zone whatsoever. And anytime you put a lot of pressure on the Jets coming out of their own zone, makes it difficult to execute a good pass.
Samuelson just too far ahead of Corkum there in his shorthanded rush, but puck does go down into the Winnipeg zone. Acts as a clear as now Korolev is back. He looks to rev it up. One last power play rush for the Jets. Korolev drills it in. Hextall neatly stops it, turns, and fires it all the way down. Nearly thinks Svoboda with that, but Peter was able to get out of the way. That'll just about do it for the power play as the Jets get the puck to the Flyers zone. The Flyers are back to full strength. Neverdowski carries it in. Neverdowski toward the slot. Swung it toward the net, but Desjardins cuts it up, pushes it ahead to Lindros. Lindros gathering now and moving. Lindros to Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk swings wide. Hawerchuk centers. Leclerc knocked down, a penalty call. John Leclerc knocked down. Flyers power play coming up. Tonight's second period from Winnipeg is brought to you by Core States and Core States Direct, the shortest distance between you and your money. And by Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Looking at the Honda inside story of the 11 shots the Flyers had, Desjardins had 4. Tkachuk had 4 for his hockey club. 8-5 in scoring chances favoring the Jets. The Flyers had won a few more faceoffs, had 13 giveaways in that first period, and 20 hits, which was a very aggressive period. Flyers 1 for 3. 6 of their 11 shots on the power play, 5 scoring chances, and the Jets also did an excellent job on their power play opportunities. So the Flyers go again.
Yes.
Here we go again.
Number 4 for the Flyers as Stapleton is off for interference at 1:58. Desjardins turnover. Tkachuk the other way, 2-on-1. Tkachuk Poke check by Hawerchuk, who came back marvelously there. And the forward back didn't hurt the Flyers as he breaks up the 2-on-1. Kimberly Malloy of Newark is the McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Lindros with some room through the neutral zone. Moving in, given room, hands off to Leclerc, and then pass deflected wide. Now Leclerc behind the net, taken down, able to tip it to Quinn, who stuffed it in front, and it ended up tipping wide behind the net. Now Leclerc, bodied and grabbed by Manson, puts a glove right through his face, but that is allowed. Lindros back to Desjardins, winds and fires, and that one deflects off of several players and winds up in the crowd, out of play.
Now Desjardins is getting an opportunity to really blast that puck, and he's getting it through. That's the 5th time that he's wound up for that big slap shot. I'll tell you what, John Leclerc is doing yeoman work in the corners to dig that puck through. This time Desjardins could not hold it in. Look at the work by number 18 Hawerchuk. Just got there in time, not allow Tkachuk to send a pass over to his line mate. And when you have a lot of time to unload the shot, you're going to use the slap shot. And who's in front? John Leclerc again, setting up a screen.
Brind'Amour out now with Quinn and Falloon up front. Svoboda and Lindros man the points. Brind'Amour cleanly back to Svoboda. Thought about a shot, now takes it. Save Roussel, bats the rebound right to Jamnov. Jamnov weaves around Brind'Amour and then dishes to the Philadelphia zone. As Svoboda goes back to get the puck, the power play hits its halfway point. Peter Svoboda moving up. Svoboda just nudges it into the Winnipeg zone. He's going to chase himself, get to it. Play it to Falloon, who jabs for Quinn, who misplays it. Jamnov able to clear. Hit the linesman, bounces to Lindros. Offside for Svoboda. Svoboda now for Falloon, stops. Played it to the boards, but Jamnov is there. Brind'Amour tipped it away from him, but Korolev is able to push it out of the zone. And now Brind'Amour plays it back to Lindros. Lindros, pass for Falloon. Falloon waiting, holding, and then playing it deep. Brind'Amour to it behind the net. Brind'Amour's pass intercepted by Numanen, who clears all the way down. The penalty killing by the Jets. 20 seconds remaining. One last chance for the Flyers. And Svoboda finds Korkum. Korkum with some room, moving in. Korkum, little wrister wide, didn't get much on that, and now Dallas Drake to it. Drake with a pass to Manson, 2-on-2 for the Jets. Manson to Tkachuk. Tkachuk cutting to the slot. Still has control. The shot save, Hextall. And he hangs on long enough to get the whistle as the power play comes to an end. And we're back to five-a-side hockey.
Well, that's why you're a $6 million man, when you can make plays like that. He is very good, Tkachuk, in traffic. Handles himself really well, can beat a defenseman on a one-on-one. Just watch the moves he makes here. Head up and just turns Chris Therien inside out. So for Chris Therien, another learning experience. Boy, you better look at that guy right in the shoulder and don't go for those fakes, because things like that will happen. Tkachuk, one of the better power forwards in the National Hockey League.
Face-off upcoming to the right of Ron Hextall as Tkachuk looks on. Mike Eastwood, the former Toronto Maple Leafs prospect, and Brind'Amour wants the Flyers get their alignment down. And Brind'Amour wins another draw, getting it back to Samuelson. Just over 4 minutes into second period action. Jets able to keep the puck in. Eastwood to the slot for Stapleton, couldn't handle Brind'Amour. Rod Brind'Amour. Pass on the money to Korkum, but he turns it over at the Jets blue line. It's 2-on-1. Here's Eastwood with King. Eastwood holds for King. Shot! Save! Hextall, it bounced on top of the net. And right there, Samuelson will hang on to it. Gregson pointing as if he may have found a penalty, but the Flyers escape danger there as Hextall makes the save, and then it lands innocently right on top.
It's a big game for the Flyers. The fans are ready. The ice is ready. And they're ready to drop the puck. Hey, Flyer fans, celebrate the hottest game in town with the coldest beer on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the NHL.
There are literally thousands of leases to which you could sign your name. But only one offers you the Lexus ES 300 with a special luxury value package. Leather-trimmed seats, a 6-disc CD auto changer, and a power moonroof. All for just $3.99 a month for 36 months while they last. So don't sign anything until you see your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
And Chris Terrian pinches in. All right, let it go. Watch, he pinches in, and that sets up the 2-on-1 break. Boy, Samuelson really moved over to the left side as he read Bruce coming back, and that deflection by goaltender Hextall went right to the back of the net. So excellent save, and Bruce really tried to come back hard in a back-checking role.
Rod Brindamore moving to center. Pass to Klatt, who had a step, then trying to get the pass back to Brindamore, but Brindamore overtaken from behind by Eastwood. Eddie cleared. Goes Terrian over. And Terrian's pass off the stick of Corkum gathered by Eastwood. Now Mike Stapleton having all kinds of trouble controlling and just flings in. Hextall will stop it. Terrian is there. And Terrian, who's gone 30 straight without a goal. Now to Corkum. Corkum finds Drews, but Drews hipped off by Manson. Flyers still after the puck. On the boards, Klatt trying to dig it free. Eastwood got to it, though. Eastwood to Korolev, who's outlet beyond Shannon, goes all the way down, in on Hextall. He rifles it by Randy Benton, the line spinning all the way down into the Winnipeg zone. Crowd got a kick out of that. Here's Dave Manson now. Manson finds Korolev behind the defense. Korolev! Stopped by Desjardins and Hextall, but it was mostly Desjardins. The other way go the Flyers, and Gregson has signaled a penalty. Harry Gregson signaling a penalty. And I'm not sure where the penalty was in this particular situation. The Flyers are not happy at all with this call. Kevin Haller appears to be the guilty party.
We haven't seen Gregson make a signal yet indicating a penalty. But this set up the breakaway. Look at the work that Desjardins does coming back, just lifting that stick. So that does not allow the Jets to get a good shot away. I guess the takedown right in front with Jamnoff going down very easily. And so Kevin Haller on that play will get the penalty. But Hextall really stacked the pads. Number 23, Korolev, was home free. Good back checking by Desjardins really prevented a good, hard, accurate shot. And all Terry Murray can do right now is just shake his head with a call against Kevin Haller.
Tripping is the call. And so power play number 3 for the Winnipeg Jets. No Flyer fans, next season the Phantom, the Flyers' new AHL affiliate, will open their inaugural season. The Core State Spectrum. And you can get ticket information and your name placed as a mailing list right now. All you have to do is call 215-465-4500. So the Flyers penalty killing needs to come up big again. The Jets looking to take their first lead of the game. Dallas Drake swings it around. Desjardins reaching for it, tipped it. But Drake is back after it. He's checked by Svoboda. That allows Podine to get to the puck, wind up and fire it all the way down. Brindamore and Podine, outstanding penalty killers for the Flyers. Brindamore with 3 shorthanded goals. Hasn't had one in a while, but he had 3 early on. Here's Kachuk now to the Flyers line. Chopped away by Podine. Janney plays it back around, and now Drake. Dallas Drake, the former Detroit Red Wing, to Janney, who likes to do business from behind the net. Janney centers! Shot score! Drake got there to poke it in, and now Kachuk is hammering away behind the net. On a Flyer, I believe it's Peter Svoboda. And Keith Kachuk might get instigation penalty here. He was firing away on Peter Svoboda. The goal to Dallas Drake, a power play tally as he one-handed it by Hextall as Craig Janney continues to give the Flyers trouble from behind the net or around the net with those passes.
Well, that's 2 goals that have been set up that way. It'll be interesting to see the call now because there's no doubt that Kachuk went right after Peter Svoboda. Watch from behind is Janney. He's got to look at everything coming towards him, and Drake cruising in. Brindamore just not able to grab a hold of it in a checking mode. And so that's another power play goal by the Jets. by Janney just through the 5-hole of Hextall. I can't believe that Tkachuk is still in this hockey game.
We don't quite get a look at the continuation because, of course, you're following the goal score with all the camera angles, but all I saw was Tkachuk throwing from the very beginning, and when I say throwing punches.
He just grabbed them and threw punches. Here, Sabota had no chance to defend himself, and Tkachuk is still in the hockey game.
Not only that, nothing's gone up on the board as far as any extra penalty for the Jets. Drake gets his 12th. Janney will get 1 assist. They acquired Craig Janney to try to set up the likes of Drake and Tkachuk and Jamnoff, and he is doing that in this particular hockey game. All the goals in this game on the power play. The Jets have their first lead at 2-1.
Well, for Dale Hawerchuk playing with Lindros and Leclerc, he hasn't had much of an opportunity of doing it in even strength because a lot of the time spent was on the power play. This is only the 3rd shift that they played together in even strength situation.
Stoppage in play here. Lindros now. And King goes after Lindros. Lindros is looking at Gregson as if, what's going on here? I think Chris King might be visiting the penalty bench area. Chris King, the captain of the Jets, but he is known for his...
That's a good way to look at everybody. Hold your hands.
Gregson did point to King as if there was a penalty. And now he is going over to the penalty bench area. The question is, did he take Lindros with him? The penalties after the goal, we're still waiting for the... I believe it's just Tkachuk and Svoboda for fighting. It is.
There's a hit from behind by Chris King.
So, yeah, I mean, and Hawerchuk considering grabs King. The assist by Craig Janney. Point number 600 of his NHL career. He's put some points together. He's played with the likes of Brett Hull on his line and Cam Neely, and now he's got Tkachuk, so he's had some pretty good talent alongside.
That was interesting. When Janney was interviewed after the San Jose game, he said he was the worst player on the ice. He has turned that misfortune around because he has been one of the better Jets in tonight's contest.
Chad Kilger has the puck for the Jets to Eastwood. Kilger bumped by Klatt as the puck is played in. After it is Chris Therien, and Flyers look to start up 5-a-side hockey. There were no penalties, even though I thought Gregson was certainly signaling such. Jets have it. Manson, pretty hard to read the signals of Terry Gregson in this game. He has been very hard to read, in particular, going out there's a penalty at all. Here's Trent Klatt now to Corkum on the left wing. Corkum swings deep. Little backhander, bounced in front, but the Flyers had gone by the puck. And now Shane Doan. Doan will blast in on Hextall. He kicks it aside, but Doan carries on to get to it. Doan checked by Antoski. Samuelson to the puck to Klatt. And Klatt just shovels it off the glass and out of the zone. No icing here as Manson retrieves. Jets 2, Flyers 1. We approach the midway point of this hockey game. Kilger tips the puck. Lindros has it for the Flyers. Lindros is passed to Leclerc, moving in. Leclerc holding in front for Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk spins and then slid it through the slot as Lindros couldn't field the pass. Desjardins sneaks in to get it to Lindros. Lindros trying to center to Leclerc, tipped away, back to Thompson. And the Flyers give him some room and he'll fire it off the boards out to center. Desjardins there again, just spinning one. That'll go right to Manson. Got it in center zone to Shannon. Shannon goes rink wide, dumping into the Philadelphia zone. Desjardins up the board. That one goes to the point. Finley's there to keep it in. Made it behind the net. Haller cutting it off to Leclerc. John Leclerc now finds Hawerchuk. Dale Hawerchuk to Leclerc. Leclerc checked at the line. The puck bounces to the corner. Hawerchuk and Finley go together toward the boards. Leclerc in there. It hit the referee's skates. Jamnoff and Leclerc battle. Lindros sneaks in to pick up the puck. Lindros centering. Hawerchuk backhander. Save Roussel. The rebound cleared by the Jets. It rolls all the way down wide of the crease. Icing the call as Haller gets back for the touch-up. 11 minutes, 43 seconds remaining second period. The Jets have taken the lead.
What could possibly be as precise as the tolerances within one of the finest Swiss watches available? How about some of the tolerances within the engine and suspension of one of the finest automobiles available? The Lexus ES 300. Let others follow.
In the good old days, they played on clay and dirt, and they played their hearts out in dusty, cramped arenas and great old buildings that still echo with their memories and a history we'll never forget. History means a lot to us at Core States because our history of service to your banking needs goes back a long way too. But it's much more than just a memory. It's a tradition of service that's even more important to us today than it was back in the good old days.
Monday at 6:30, Peggy's birthday gift for Al causes quite a stir. And at 7, Al's sarcasm cost him his prized parking space on Married with Children on WB17, the home of the WB Television Network. And tonight's game is brought to you by Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL.
Well, their face-off, this one tipped and does make it to center. Samuelson now will play it back in. Flyers have to regain the line.
Now, the difficulty of the Jets this season has been back on the blue line. I mean, they turned the puck over a lot. The Flyers really need to do some strong forechecking and cause those turnovers. And if they do, you know that they're going to score goals.
Icing on the Jets as Eakins just cleared it all the way down. The second period is also a time you want to take advantage of this Winnipeg Jets club. The numbers, they tell the story. The Jets a pretty decent club in the first and third period, Gary. But in the second, it's been abysmal as they have been outscored by 27 goals. So this is the time to jump on them.
Funny how those things go in different periods. Different clubs operate more effectively in some than others. And you think players don't look at that also?
Yeah, it begins to play on their minds is what happens. Although right now the Jets playing very well in this particular second period. They have the only goal. And a 2-1 lead as Drake finds the puck. Pass to Janney. Janney tried to get it back to Drake. Lindros stepped in. Lindros then got his stick up on Drake when he hit him, and the Flyers move up with it. The play is whistled down as the Flyers are on the rush. Drake is face first to the ice, and now they go after Lindros as a couple of Jets are in there. Chris King again wants it Lindros, and is Gregson going to allow King to continue to rule this game himself? We'll see. He let him get away with a shove last time. Now Gregson and King have a heated discussion.
Well, there was a collision in the Flyers' end of the ice. Remember, Lindros is the bigger, stronger player. Drake went down in a heap. And right now, Gregson is having a conversation. Watch Lindros come in now as Drake takes a run at him. And it's the elbow that hit the side of the head of Drake. That's the old equalizer. If a player wants to run at you, it's either the stick or the elbow that is going to make contact. Next time, Drake will think twice. You know, he took quite a few steps trying to run at Lindros.
That is why the Jets are upset, though. It was Eric's elbow right in the face of Drake, but no penalty given to Eric. No penalty given to King for his retaliation, and so play carries on at 5 aside. Here's Teppo Numminen. Numminen looking for Doan. It bounces into the Philadelphia zone. Hextall comes out. Plays it to Lindros. Now Lindros to Samuelson. Michelle will just play it into the Winnipeg zone. Finley after it. Finley checked and turns it over. Lindros picks it up to Falloon. He fanned again, and Roussel able to cover up. Numminen comes in to give Falloon some chops to the back. He thought Falloon was digging around his goaltender's glove a little too hard. Pat Falloon's had some great chances. Hasn't been able to get good wood on the puck.
Well, that's the second opportunity that he's been in tights. Lindros actually trying to move in front of the net, and the puck just slipped right to Falloon. And he just did not get a very good opportunity to put it past Roussel. Just off the heel of his stick. Looked like Roussel had that area covered very well. Flyers 15 shots, the Winnipeg Jets 14. All the goals via the power play.
Quinn out with Leclerc and DeMaio. Puck to DeMaio in the slot, but he was marked well, and Stapleton able to play it to Korolev. Korolev poke checked by Haller, and now Leclerc to the puck. Leclerc gets to Desjardins. Desjardins headbanding to Leclerc. Big John Leclerc, 6 goals in his last 3 games. Wired one off a leg wide. Roussel will play the puck to the corner. Jamnov the first one there. Behind the boards. Haller pitches. Got it to Leclerc. Leclerc to DeMaio. Tamayo back for Leclerc, but Thompson stayed with him and intercepted. Thompson now with a pass to Darren Shannon. Darryl plays with Buffalo. Used to be here with the Jets. Jets go offside at the Philadelphia line.
Now both teams are utilizing 4 lines in tonight's contest, even though in the second period, Coach Terry Murray has juggled the units, putting different combinations together. And after tonight's game, the Flyers get on their charter and head for Toronto, probably getting there around 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they play against the Leafs Saturday night.
That is going to be a tough hockey game for the Flyers, although the Leafs, possibility they will not have Matt Sundin nor Doug Gilmour for that game. Puck into the Philadelphia zone. There's Desjardins taking it to Quinn. Tamayo outletting Leclerc. Leclerc is 1-on-2. Makes the shift. Spins, goes down, and Korolev the other way. Plays it to Shannon. Shannon, poke check by Desjardins, carrying on his Korolev. Haller pins him. Shannon digs the puck free. Shannon got it out in front. Hextall able to get his stick on that and play it right out to center. Now Kevin Haller. They pass. It's tipped. Tamayo looking for it. Couldn't come up with it. Shannon. Pass missing. Kilger at the Philadelphia line. Desjardins back now for the Flyers. Quinn just floats it out to the neutral zone. 9:23 remaining, second period. 2-1 Winnipeg. Manson to Dallas Eakins. Eakins, that'll be a 2-line pass if Doan plays it. He doesn't. The play carries on. Haller to Samuelson. Outlet tip. And it's gathered, but still in the zone was Doan, and so as Kilger plays it in, it's offside. Your Philadelphia area Mitsubishi dealers, the Mitsubishi Motor Sales of America, are proud to make a contribution to the Flyers' Wise Fight for Lives every time Eric Lindros scores a goal. You can score too by test driving a new 1996 model at your local Mitsubishi dealer.
You know, in the 70 games that the teams have played, well, the Winnipeg Jets, they've held the opposition under 3 goals only 19 times, but the Jets have won 15 of them. So this is their kind of a game. Keep the score nice and low.
Turnover, Tverdovsky pinching, able to get to it, but the Flyers with good coverage get it to Kladd, who banks, hoping for Druce. Druce, one-on-one against Eakins, getting help now. Here's the pass to Samuelson, and it eludes him. And then he couldn't play it off the boards either. And the Jets clear. Therrien feathers one back in. Dallas Eakins going back, takes a peek around, and then shouldered by Klatt. Samuelson kept it in, but it bounces right to McKenzie. McKenzie fires the puck to the red line. Samuelson then fires it up into the Winnipeg bench. Ridden in by Doan well after play had stopped, and so we get some pushing and shoving, some staring, some conversation, but nothing too serious at this point.
Extreme mountain biking, 45 miles an hour.
Did it.
65 miles an hour.
Done it.
Blindfolded.
Been there.
Then a 4,000-foot vertical drop.
Tried that.
All while slamming a Dew. Nothing's more intense than slamming Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, no shoot. Just kidding.
Decent.
At Honda, we don't think a car that's affordable and exceptional is too much to ask for. After all, the Accord has carved out a nice niche being exactly that. And now with 3.9% APR financing for up to 48 months, its affordability is more clear-cut than ever. In fact, it's an offer so solid, it's carved in stone. Get 3.9% APR financing for 48 months on any Accord.
Well, for Sean Bodine, who has scored goals in 3 consecutive games, has not made an appearance in this second period. He is still on the bench, but don't know if he's injured or decision by Terry Murray not to play him.
Lindros out with Leclerc and Hawerchuk right now. Hextall plays the puck side to Svoboda. Svoboda and Tkachuk have rejoined the action after serving out their 5-minute majors. Newman in, turned it over, but Hawerchuk was then stripped by Janney. Now the Flyers trying to get it back, but they could not break. It bounce off Hawerchuk, and Svoboda plays the puck. Svoboda did not get it by Drake at the red line, and the Jets dump it in. Back goes Dykhouse. Tkachuk is looking to line him up. Takes him off the play. Down goes Tkachuk. Drake after the puck. Drake gets it to an unchecked Janney. Janney spinning. Swung it back around behind the net. Swoboda has Drake all over him, and now Lindros. Eric Lindros banks it right to Finley at the point. And Finley plays it back around. Drake this line giving the Flyers fits. Dykhouse a big check on Drake. Knocks him down and Leclerc has it. Leclerc pass tipped by Finley. Bounces deep into Winnipeg ice as Newman in goes back. Hawerchuk wraps him up. Leclerc. Lindros also looking to the puck. It's Leclerc to it in the corner. Pass tipped by Janney. Now Leclerc works free of Janney. Leclerc walks in front. Poke check by Roussel. Big play by Dominic Roussel, and Drake could not clear. Well, they ruled he did clear, and Haller brought it back in. So it's offsides on the Flyers.
Now that's one of the tricks for Dominic Roussel, because he does not use his stick very effectively. What a great defensive play. Goaltender helping himself in that play, because Leclerc was home free, ready to cut out in front, and Dominic used the poke check with the goal stick to prevent him from getting a shot on goal.
Now Sean Podine is out for the Flyers along with Brindamore and Falloon, as started the game with these two. Dave Manson cross ice. Thompson got it ahead to Shannon, and the Jets spin it in. Desjardins couldn't clear. Here's Shannon with the puck. Shannon chips to the circle, but there's Desjardins with it. Eric Desjardins continuing to lead the Flyers in scoring among the defensemen. And out to center, Haller sends a pop fly back to the Winnipeg line, grabbed by Thompson. And they call it delayed offsides on the Flyers. So they'll face it off again in the neutral zone. A lot of whistles here in period number 2.
They have quite a few of them. The offside, the main reason for the whistle blowing. So the pace is slowed down considerably. But that's what the Jets would like, is just to slow it down as much as possible. And we had said that the Winnipeg Jets have only held teams under 3 goals 19 times. The Philadelphia Flyers have done it 40 times, winning 30, tying 7, only 3 losses.
Eric Desjardins hits Podine. Podine's got a step over skates, gets his back taken down by Madsen. Into the boards they go. Podine and Madsen gets back up. He kicks the puck to Brindamore. Madsen to the ice again. Now Brindamore worked over by Korolev. Brindamore for Podine, but it slid between his legs, and now Brent Thompson. Thompson jammed off, tipped by Falloon, who tips it back to Brindamore. Brindamore checked from behind by Korolev, and Brent Thompson has the puck one more time. Pass to Shannon. Now Desjardins, center, and Kevin Haller picks it up. Haller to Desjardins. He's got a man moving in. Clack. The shot. Save Roussel. A rebound. He's got it. Roussel hangs on, and the crowd roars.
For Trent Klatt, boy, he would love to have a goal. Needs one desperately, but Desjardins waited till he got over center ice and then hit him with a perfect pass. Good positioning by Dominic Roussel, even though he was going into that butterfly. Just got it with the pads. Looked like that 5-hole was open there for Trent Klatt. He has now gone 10 games without a goal.
Been sitting on 99 career NHL points for a long time. Corkum and Eastwood. And Eastwood got it to Eakins, and Eakins just bounces it out to the neutral zone. Therrien hustles back to retrieve. 6 minutes remaining. Period number 2. Therrien stopped at his own line. That means Samuelson is there to pick up. Corkum back to Therrien. He just banks it out, and that goes right to King, who fires it into the Philadelphia zone. Now Therrien being tied up along Eastwood and Stapleton. Bruce to the puck, and he'll just backhand into the Winnipeg zone. They will call that icing. So icing to call the faceoff back into the Philadelphia zone, where the Flyers have climbed to within 3 points of first place in the Atlantic Division. They obviously closing in on the New York Rangers. Terry Murray talked about how important it was to perhaps gain first place.
First place is motivation enough, absolutely. I think that would be nice if we could get to that position. The home ice, the way things are in the playoffs these days, it might not be important as you get into the first series, but certainly the deeper you go in the playoffs, I think that home ice advantage becomes more important. And if we can keep playing at a high level and take a run at it, we would certainly like to do that.
And it certainly is available for the Flyers, as they have certainly narrowed the gap. Florida, New York Rangers, Pittsburgh.
With the Rangers idle tonight, chance to be just 1 point back, tied with Florida. A huge chance for the Flyers. They are down, however, in this game 2-1. Here's Borkum to Samuelson. Samuelson for Brindamore. Brindamore in the left wing, ridden by Tverdovsky. And the Jets get it to the line, not out. Therrien fired it toward the slot, bounces off player to Druce for the quick shot save. Rebound, Brindamore! Roussel stops his former Eastwood, goes up way high on John Druce. Druce wasn't even really near the goaltender, but Gregson's allowing a lot of that post-whistle pushing and shoving. And so no penalty call. We'll just have a face-off in the Winnipeg zone.
Well, I'm sure that Coach Gary Simpson had a lot to say about his hockey club, about playing aggressively in this game against the Flyers and make sure the front of the net is cleared. Eastwood certainly does that. But a good shot from the off wing. Like Dominic Roussel was off balance, back on his heels. John Druce trying to score his first goal in a Flyer uniform.
Lindros and Craig Janney ready to tangle on this face-off. Lindros gets it back to shot. Dykhouse wide. And Drake dishes to the center zone. Hawerchuk cutting it off, plays it rink wide. It's a smart play. It allowed Lindros to regain the line and then play the puck. Onside, he got it behind the net. Finley gets into Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk goes down, and now Janney. A little forward to Drake, and Dallas Drake finds Janney. Janney to Newmanen. Newmanen moves in. This pass is for Drake. This line has had so many scoring chances. Hawerchuk mishandles, but Svoboda moves it up to Lindros. Lindros, check, Leclerc, trying to sprint. Nearly did, but the puck hops to Roussel, and he just jumps on top of it. So Dominic Roussel has made some key stops here in the second. As a result, the Jets still up by 1.
Hey, hockey fans, there's a new official in the NHL. One that's making a big hit. Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beer sponsors of the NHL. Goes down easy and icy smooth. Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, an official you'll like.
Life rarely imitates orange cones. Orange cones, however, can be made to imitate life. At Lexus, we've created a suspension system so advanced, it's smooth when you want it to be, and responsive when you need it to be. The 1996 LS400. Unthinkable, except by Lexus.
Well, looking at the game summary, Quinn on a power play, his 10th. Lindros moving closer to that 100-point season. And then Tkachuk and Drake scoring power play goals. Jets 2 for 3 on the power play. They've had a good night.
They have won the special teams battle to this point, although the Flyers did get their one goal on the power play. Quick Lindros shot, fended off by Roussel. Now Leclerc behind the net to Lindros. He's checked, but Hawerchuk helps him out. Dale Hawerchuk hooked as he moved up the boards, and that was just enough to knock him off the puck and allow the Jets to relieve pressure. Janney dishing, but there's Desjardins. Desjardins hits a cutting Lindros. In he goes in the left wing. Lindros cross ice. Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk has it. Oh, he played it back to the point. And Tkachuk's waiting for it. Plays it by Desjardins. Gets to it. Back comes Haller. Tkachuk spins, goes down, and that rush. Although Tkachuk does not give up on the puck. Now Lindros avoids one check. Desjardins is able to clear the zone. Lindros goes down and it's jammed off. And he come together not once, not twice, but 3 times. Well away from the play. Now Hawerchuk. Dale Hawerchuk lays it in. Flyers going for a line change. As the Jets get to the puck, Brent Thompson. Thompson head manning. Shannon pushes to Korolev. Korolev got it to Shannon, who swats it off Therrien's stick deep into the Flyer zone. Quinn to DeMaio, who overskates, is able to tip it now. Quinn didn't clear the zone. Thompson keeps it, hit DeMaio. Second try, got it to the slot. Therrien pushes it for Klatt. Klatt now being ridden by Korolev. Now DeMaio banks out to center. Races down to the puck, and it's Klatt who gets to it. Klatt 1-on-2. Klatt moving in, looking for some trailers, and he's knocked down. And now DeMaio centers, and it splits the 2-point man and goes back out to the center zone.
I've never seen it in a game where so many players are hitting the ice, falling. You know, the hits haven't been that enormous where they knock you off the puck. on the seat of your pants, but that's the way this game has been going.
Scramble is on along the boards. Klatt trying to work the puck free. He's tackled pretty much by Zhamnov. Gregson blows the whistle and says the puck was frozen. Zhamnov been pushing and shoving and more of this. Gregson's basically put the whistle away, Gary, so this game could get out of control a little bit. You'll have the opportunity to see the best hockey players in the world compete for 3 games starting on August the 31st when the Core State Center hosts its first ever event for the World Cup of Hockey. You'll want to be part of all the action, so call the Flyers at 215-755-9700 for more information. And suddenly, Terry Gregson decides to call a penalty.
Yeah, well, he heard you. You know that. So Samuelson, with that scrum along the boards, draws the penalty.
The Jets have been pushing Flyers in the face after whistles all night long, and nothing has been called. Suddenly, Gregson finds a penalty out of what seemed to be just several players pushing and shoving. And this is the veteran, one of the more senior referees in the NHL.
Let's see if we can pick up what happened with Samuelson.
Quinn got pushed in the face. Quinn's getting a facial.
All right, now Samuelson is right there. He didn't do anything.
Terry, I don't know what. He called it a slash.
We're still waiting for what happened with Samuelson on that replay. We didn't see anything at all.
In the meantime, Quinn was getting a facial. Unbelievable.
Well,
so the Jets, very effective power play, gets an undeserved chance right here. They are 2 for 3. Samuelson will sit out. Flyers win the draw. Haller carry it back and waste as much time as he can. That's not on him yet. Now he'll play it to defenseman Desjardins, who winds up and blasts it all the way down. Winnemore can't touch that. It'll be a 2-line pass now that the Jets have. Play carries on. And now it's Numanen. Teppo Numanen drops it off for Zhamnov to Tkachuk. Very dangerous Tkachuk. Lays it in. Desjardins got his stick on it and tips it away. Now Eric will wind up and blast, hit Brindamore in the back, but Brindamore finds the puck. He plays it rink wide out of the zone. Numanen backboard with Podine on his tail. Numanen disrupted by Podine, but still gets to Janney. Greg Janney now moving in. Quick pass to Drake. Drake pushed from behind by Podine. Swings it around behind the net. Janney has set up 2 goals from there. This time poke checked effectively by Dykhouse. Janney back after and adds off to Zhamnov to the point. Numanen. He'll wind and fire wide of a crowd in front. Haller blasts it all the way down.
Well, that screen was set up for the Winnipeg Jets. Hextall stretching out, just went wide, and then Haller moved very effectively to get the puck out of the zone. A good defensive play by Kevin Haller.
Darren Shannon gathers the puck and charges up with it. Shannon is it off glass into the Philadelphia zone. Dykhouse is back, turns, and he gave some chin music to John Druce, but he cleared the zone. That's the important thing. And now Manson to Stapleton. Stapleton right wing feed for Tverdovsky. Tverdovsky in, stops, cross ice pass, tip, bounces around. Svoboda finds the puck and clear. Good penalty killing by the Flyers. Just 25 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Minute and 6 seconds remaining in the second period. Tverdovsky starts up. Right wing Korolev snaps it in. Hextall can't stop it. Shannon checked by Desjardins, who goes down. Shannon has the puck, tried to center, but Korkov was right there, and he whistles it all the way down, right in on Roussel. That'll just about do it. In fact, that will do it. Power play. Back to 5-a-side hockey. 45 seconds remaining in the period. Manson to Stapleton. Stapleton just pushes it into the Philadelphia zone as the Jets are changing players. Eric Desjardins banking for Lindros. Lindros skates it up. Lindros into the left wing. Lays it back to Leclerc. Winds it. Fires. That one went wide as Hawerchuk is trying to get there for the screen. Desjardins pitches in. Guides it to Lindros. Lindros back to Desjardins, but getting to it in front of him was Shane Doan, and Doan clears the zone. Desjardins quickly to Haller. Flyers still have time. Here's Haller playing it in airborne. Lindros taken down. No call. Maybe he was just trying to stay onside. He didn't stay onside. It's offsides. The boot. So the faceoff will come out to the neutral zone with 8.2 seconds remaining.
Well, when Lindros was knocked down, Gregson was trying to get away at the penalty box area to avoid a collision, so he didn't see the play at all. Watch through the middle. Lindros gets hauled down. I'll tell you what. Right now, the Flyers are talking themselves on the bench.
Each team has now had 4 power plays. Jets have scored on 2, the Flyers on 1. That's why the Jets have the 1 goal lead. Just 8.2 seconds remaining in the period as the puck is drawn in the neutral zone. The Flyers have it. Dykhouse bounces one in that rolls to Roussel. Roussel plays it by Lindros, and it's chopped out by King as the period ends. King and Lindros collide, but have nothing to say to one another. And so the Winnipeg Jets get the only goal of the second period. Dallas Ron Hextall with a tip-in on the power play. 2-1 Winnipeg after 2 periods.
Well, again, as Terry Murray just looks on, and his stare is right at referee Gregson. All 3 goals have been by power play, and the goaltenders have been very good in this contest.
Tonight's Flyers-Jets second period was brought to you by your Quality Plus Ford dealers in the all-new 1997 F-150. The first and only full-size pickup with dual airbags and a standard 3rd door. And by Mountain Dew. There's nothing more intense than slamming a Mountain Dew. Do the do. Back with our in-between period show from the Winnipeg Arena. Messages 2-1 Winnipeg after 40 minutes.
On Tales from the Crypt.
The double indemnity clause that makes me worth $500,000 dead.
A down-and-out couple devise a deadly deal to put the life back in their marriage.
Some terrible mistake has been made.
Hey!
Your mother is very distraught.
Your mother is very nuts.
Terry Garr and Michael J. Fox guest star on the next Tales from the Crypt.
Saturday at 11:30 on WB17.
How did Plymouth Voyager get to be the best overall value in minivans? It all starts here. Use clever ideas like cab-forward design, build-in loads of safety, and exclusive easy-out roller seats. Make it roomier, quieter, and offer the only driver's side sliding door. Then make it the most affordable. Plymouth Voyager, starting at $17,100. Now Plymouth Voyager, one of America's favorite minivans, is also the lowest priced.
There are literally thousands of leases to which you could sign your name. But only one offers you the Lexus ES 300 with a special luxury value package. Leather-trimmed seats, a 6-disc CD audio changer, and a power moonroof. All for just $399 a month for 36 months while they last. So don't sign anything until you see a New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
Hello, I'm meteorologist Larry Cosgrove. Coming up in Enquirer News tonight, we still have that storm in the northeast, but you know what? It's moving out. And behind it, a conversion to fair weather, which may last right through the weekend. All the details in that weekend forecast, plus a check of a storm arriving early next week. On Enquirer News tonight following the Flyers game here on WB17.
Dallas Drake's power play goal has taken the Winnipeg Jets to a 2-1 lead over the Flyers after 2 periods of play. You know, we often talk about the business side of this sport, especially when you're talking about Eric Lindros and, of course, the players making a lot of money. But Eric is a firm believer in the fact that it's still fun that he has playing this game, and also during practices, as he talks about right now yesterday.
The core of what I do is the game. And, you know, even today after practice, you're in Winnipeg, it's the last chance probably that we're going to have playing in this building. And, you know, I ran up the stairs, and they got this big picture of the Queen, and she got the big grin on, and I went behind it, and Roddy Brindamore was taking, I'm up there waving, and I got a little portable camera. I'll probably go this big on the picture, but that's all part of the fun that we have.
Indeed, these guys still do have a lot of fun, especially yesterday at practice. And Gary, sometimes they'll say that it's tough to find fun in Winnipeg, but Eric Lindros did.
Yeah, we've been here for 2 days, and you're right. We spent a lot of time in our hotel rooms watching basketball. But Jimmy, this game, it's been quite interesting where The Flyers have had some excellent chances. Now, Pat Falloon, who's been on a real ride scoring goals, and he's probably had the best chances of the Flyers that did not score. One went off the heel of his stick. The other one went to his forehand on a breakaway, and it ended up in the corner. So if the Flyers can only finish some of their chances, they could certainly be ahead in this game.
And that has a familiar ring to it. The Flyers did have some trouble finishing before their last couple of games, but they'll try to rediscover it in the third period. The trade deadline, of course, is history. It is past. The Flyers are, barring injuries, of course, pretty much set for the rest of the season in their run into the playoffs. And, of course, Gary and I talk a lot about what we think of the hockey team. Well, we went to the players and the coaches and got some of their opinions on what the Philadelphia Flyers look like at this point in the season.
Well, I think we have a great chance. I like our team. I mean, you look at our team now. I've never been on a more powerful team. I think everybody, any line you throw out there, we've got, you got Dale Hawerchuk now that's kind of just thrown in there. But suddenly you got to remember this guy's a Hall of Famer and a great player. And we've got just a really good, solid team. And I think our defense is good. And it's young, but it's good defense when you look at the teams in the league. And I think we're set.
I feel good about our team. I felt good about our team 2 weeks ago. I think the acquisition of Hawerchuk, I think, is really going to help us. I mean, on our power play on the point, and just giving us another guy up front that's a real skilled guy, a guy that's been around and knows what it takes, and he's good in the room. And from what Peter and guys have told me, he's a real winner. He wants to win, and I think he's going to be a great asset for us.
I think everybody's much more relaxed today now that the trading deadline has gone by. And the one thing, though, we need to remember is that there can be no let-up. There needs to be intensity and focus, and to gear yourself up to a higher level. Know that there's another deadline some other day, and you want to keep impressing the management, the coaches, Clarkie, and again, play for your teammates and play for your team so that we can have another good run through the playoffs.
Well, I've got a lot of faith in Clarkie and what his ideas are, and I think he's put together a real strong group here. We've got... right now we got a little bit of some injury problems with Joel and Rennie not being in, and all the time. And when he's in, he's only at 80%, which is tough. But I think we're looking pretty strong.
Well, what do you think, Gary?
I think the material is there. You play with the intensity and the grit. Talking with Eric Lindros, he said, we know we can go to another level, in our play. And this, the last games before the playoffs start is a good opportunity to really show that.
And the Flyers certainly climbing in the standings, have a chance to move to within just 1 point of first place if they can come from behind in period number 3. I'll check scores from out of town in the NHL when we come back to Winnipeg in a moment.
The Infiniti i30 is truly an extraordinary luxury car. It has a revolutionary micro-finished V6 that can out-accelerate many luxury V8s. It comes with patented rear multi-link beam suspension that allows for superb handling. And it does something all $30,000 luxury cars should do. Perform.
Now, for a limited time, lease the Infiniti i30 with no down payment.
I've got another one. If you run an ad and no one sees it, does it make a sale? No. So put your ad where more people are looking to buy. 9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
Dodge Ram is #1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. #1 in horsepower. #1 in torque. Even #1 in payload and overall power. In fact, Dodge Ram is #1 in more categories than any full-size pickup. So it should come as no surprise that across America, Dodge pickups are #1 in sales growth. Now get up to $670 in savings on the hottest truck on the road today, Dodge Ram.
You work hard to own a $30,000 luxury car. Finally, there's a company that works just as hard to build one. Introducing the extraordinary i30. Through innovative technology and revolutionary design, Infiniti has created a car that offers you the flagship styling, space, and performance you deserve. And as you can see, hard work has its rewards.
Now, for a limited time, lease the Infiniti i30 with no down payment.
2-1 Winnipeg with still the third period to play at the Winnipeg Arena. Flyer fans, you can enter the great Mitsubishi Spider Eclipse convertible giveaway during one of the intermissions of the April 11th Flyers-Montreal game. One lucky fan will have the chance to drive away in a brand new car. Just stop by your local Mitsubishi dealer before April the 1st to register. Let's check out of town the NHL scoreboard. Montreal leading Buffalo 3-1. Canadians trying to climb to within 3 points of the Flyers. Hartford and Ottawa tied at 1. That is a final score. Crucial point lost by the Whalers. Chicago has defeated New Jersey 4-2. The Devils have now lost 3 straight. And look at that other score, Detroit. I think they're the team to beat at this point. They ripped Colorado 7-0. 3 shorthanded goals in that game for the Red Wings. Anaheim is a hat trick from Jerry Balk of all people. 4-0 over St. Louis in the second. San Jose and Calgary, no score in the second period of play. One other game, Dallas leading Vancouver 1-0. Gary Dornhofer checks highlights of period number 2, and we come back to Winnipeg in just a moment.
We're in northern Kenya being chased by a black rhino. Whoa! Woo. The thing to remember when being chased by a black rhino is that while they're great in the straightaways, they can't corner worth beans.
The proceeding has been brought to you by the all-new Nissan Pathfinder, now with increased horsepower, for when you want to get away.
You know us. We're Core States Bank. But you may not know about our new Core States check card. See? Looks like a credit card. But it's not, because it works like a check, only easier. The amount you spend wherever you see a Visa sign is automatically deducted from your checking account. So there's no bill at the end of the month. Ever. Is that easy or what? Sign up for your Core States check card today. Oh, I forgot. The card that works like a check, only easier.
What could be better than McDonald's world-famous crispy golden fries? More of them. Supersize any extra value meal for just 39 cents more and get a supersized Coke and a whole lot more of our world-famous fries, because more is better.
Have you had your break today?
One penny down. Great leases. Very little time. On Protege. And $189. The B2300 SE. And $199, 626. And $209, Miata. A penny and $219. Ends April 1st.
The Winnipeg Jets, after 2 periods of play, lead the Philadelphia Flyers by 2-1 count. You know, there haven't been very many sellouts here in Winnipeg. Tonight is one of those nights. They came to see the Eric Lindros and the hockey club, and right now they're very delighted in what has transpired. Again, all goals on the power play. Look at it right here. You see 3 Jets behind the net. Peter Swoboda is going to converge on Drake. Now, once he knocks him in the board, Drake just shovels the puck behind. Now, that's Peter's man. He's got to stay with him. Now there's a scrum behind the net. Janney is going to end up with the puck and move into this position. Okay, let's let it go. Now, stop it right here. Remember, Peter Swoboda had his man? He's looking straight ahead. Meanwhile, Drake is coming into this position. Nobody picks him up. Peter should have stayed with him. And Janney just slides the puck right in front. Hextall could not grab a hold of it with his stick. Went through the 5-hole. So Drake is 12th on the power play from Janney and Tkachuk. Flyers are having an advantage on shots on goal. They lead 21-16 in that department. We're going to be ready for the start of the third period. Stay with us. We'll be back after this message.
If you were building the perfect sedan, how would you do it? Well, you'd start with the luxuries you could get, like a Bose audio system with 6 individually tuned speakers and a keyless remote entry. Install a powerful 190 horsepower V6 engine. Then, as a finishing touch, you put it on Car and Driver's 10 best list, the Nissan Maxima. the perfect sedan. Lease the 96 Maxima GXE with automatic transmission for $0 down and $299 a month for 39 months.
From U.S. Healthcare, a program created especially for the Delaware Valley. It's called Quality Point of Service, and it means freedom. The freedom to select any doctor or hospital you want and still be covered. Quality Point of Service also includes all the great preventive benefits and wellness programs that have made U.S. Healthcare this area's leading health plan. It's affordably priced and committed to quality because it's from the leader in managed care. That's why over 2 million members depend on us for a healthier way of life. U.S. Healthcare. You'll feel better with us.
Plymouth Neon Coupe with a zippy 2-liter 16-valve engine. Ride-tuned suspension. 5-speed tranny, and 132 wild ponies. It's a pretty hot little number. Plymouth Neon Coupe, just $99.95. Get low leases or low APRs or $1,000 cash back during Plymouth's Clever Ways to Save.
Tonight's third period from Winnipeg is brought to you by American Honda, who's been making quality automobiles in America for the past 12 years. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians.
Now looking at the numbers of the Honda Inside Story for the Winnipeg Jets, who have 16 shots. Tkachuk has 6 of them. Desjardins leads the Flyers with 4, all registered in the first period. Very close on the scoring chances. Flyers again a slight edge in face-offs won. Only 19 giveaways thus far after 2 periods, and we've had 30 hits, a lot of real good ones. On the power play, that's where a lot of the action has taken place. Flyers are a little unfortunate, only 1 goal because they've registered 8 shots and 6 scoring chances. The Winnipeg Jets, both of their goals via the power play. And Flyers are certainly in a position to win this one, Jim. It needs a strong third period. Start testing Dominic Roussel, get in front of him, harass him in front of that net.
Dallas Eakins fires one in. 5-a-side hockey to start the third period. Chris Therrien snaps the pass to John Druce. His first game as a Flyer. Bank it in. Back goes Finley. Finley now to Tkachuk, and Tkachuk scoops it out of the zone. Stays in play, and Therrien has to retrieve. No icing. Chris Therrien playing the puck now to Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk just clearing the zone. And it's Teppo Numminen back. Numminen to Janney. Janney slides it back to Numminen. Numminen finds Tkachuk cutting to the Flyers line, but Samuelson knocks the puck away. Moved in calmly to knock that puck away from Tkachuk. Now Leclerc rumbling back the other way. Leclerc one-hands it deep. Lindros chases, centers. Leclerc cutting it off. There's behind. Tried to reverse, overskated, goes down, lost his stick. Now he and Numminen are tied up along the boards. Lindros comes away with the puck. Lindros to the circle. Shot blocked. Ricochets. Lindros is back on it behind the net. Lindros to the corner, back out to the point hauler, back for Lindros, redirects it behind the net for Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk gathers, centers, it ricochets off, escapes Tkachuk, blast, got it through Desjardins, all the way down. Desjardins did not touch it, they say. So this is icing as Haller touches up.
Remember, this is a team, the Winnipeg Jets, that have 3.68 goals against average, 23rd in the National Hockey League, and there's a reason for that. They give the puck away in their own zone. Now it's up to the Flyers to make sure that the forechecking is there and cause those turnovers.
Dominic Roussel. We mentioned earlier this is his first start in Winnipeg, second start for the Jets. He started in Detroit. Great place to have your first start, and he was blitzed, although didn't play poorly, made a lot of spectacular saves, but the Red Wings just kept coming at him in waves.
Call that the sacrificial lamb, huh?
Manson to Korolev. Korolev checked, and the puck bounces free. Balloon reaching for it. Brind'Amour knocking it down and spinning it back behind the net. Now Brent Thompson to it. Thompson checked by Podine, who throws his weight into it. Centered, but it went by Brind'Amour to Manson, and Manson sent it off the stick of Jamnov to center. Haller then played it right back to Eastwood, and Eastwood floats it into the Philadelphia zone. Hextall plays it to Desjardins. Desjardins just clears, and Manson at the red line cuts it off and rips it back in. That one will skitter to Darren Shannon. Shannon checked by Desjardins. Brindamore to the puck, but Brindamore turns it over to Jamnov. Jamnov left alone for a moment. Lays behind the cage. Korolev. Korolev reverses, walks in front, and poking at it with Brindamore, but Korolev still has the puck. Shifts. Now drops it off for Jamnov. Jamnov behind the net. Jamnov all the way around, and a slot turnaround shot save. Extall. And he hangs on. And then Desjardins hammers Korolev. And the pushing and shoving begins in front of Ron Hextall.
Now, what's fair for one team has to be fair for the other. The Winnipeg Jets are doing it when the Flyers stand there after the whistle. So Korolev took quite a shot from Desjardins, but some interesting work here by Jamnov. Very good with that puck, even though he hasn't scored in a long time. Tries to spin around. Hextall was in a good position to make that save. And very good balance there as Desjardins trying to strip the puck from him. And after the whistle, that's when all the fun starts.
And for every save made by Ron Hextall tonight, Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile makes a contribution to the Flyers Wives Carnival. Like a goalie is there for his team, Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile is there for you. 15 such stops in this particular game. Flyers send out Corkum with Druce and DeMaio. Eastwood against Corkum by the face-off to the right of Hextall. Flyers get it. Carl Dykhouse. Dykhouse to Svoboda. Check, but Corkum's there, and he'll spin it out of the zone. Thanks to Winnipeg Ice, Eakins goes back to retrieve. Dallas Eakins started his career in the Jets organization, back for his second tour of duty. Dykhouse to Svoboda. Svoboda now lifts a pop fly. Tverdovsky knocks it down. Got it ahead to Drake. Dallas Drake to the Flyers line. Drake pushes deep. Dykhouse wraps him up, stops him, and Svoboda gets the loose disc. Now Svoboda reverses for Lindros. Kachuk nearly got to it, but Lindros able to play it out of the zone. Newman in now to Janney. Back to Newman in. Newman is past to Janney. Moving in is Craig Janney. Poke check, puck stays in the zone. Drake to Kachuk. Kachuk tries to make the move. Knocked down by Druce. Svoboda has the puck. Trying to rush it the other way. He'll just backhand in to the Winnipeg zone. Just over 3 minutes in. Period number 3. It's 2-1 Winnipeg. Just one shot on goal thus far in the third. It belongs to the Jets. Janney floats one to the Philadelphia zone as Therrien goes back court. Now Chris Therrien, rink wide for Samuelson. Flyers have completed a line change. Samuelson's pass tips its way through Manson's legs to the corner. Manson plays it up the board. Therrien comes racing in but missed the puck. And that leaves the Flyers in trouble the other way. And here's King with a step. King in on goal! Stopped by Hextall as he was harassed all the way by Bodine. It's centered back in front. Knocked down Thompson. And now the whistle blows. And Gregson will call Therrien. So the Flyers will be shorthanded as Chris Therrien argues his case on the way to the penalty bench. Jets still in front by 1. They go to the power play.
At Honda, we don't think a car that's affordable and exceptional is too much to ask for. After all, the Accord has carved out a nice niche being exactly that. And now with 3.9% APR financing for up to 48 months, its affordability is more clear-cut than ever. In fact, it's an offer so solid, it's carved in stone. Get 3.9% APR financing for 48 months on any Accord.
Can you verify that 9 out of 10 people use this book?
Absolutely. We have helped a lot of people out in a lot of emergencies, and this is how they found us.
Maybe 75% of our clients now come in through the ad. We get a lot of business from it.
And buying the biggest ad really works. 4 children work at the business, and we're all making a good living. I'm not too thin. Just lost my hair, but, you know.
How are you? Thank you for coming.
Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
Now King trying to make contact with Samuelson. Catches the stick, and, well, he's down on the ice. The play goes forward, and then all of a sudden, a counterattack by the Jets, and he's home free. Some good work by Podine coming back to not allow King to get a good shot on goal. And then thereafter, Chris Therrien gets whistled down for a cross-check, so that's the 9th minor penalty we've had in the contest. Jets the power play.
Big power play kill for the Flyers. They do not want to fall behind by more than 1. It's a pop play sent toward Hextall, and with Janney interfering with him. Hextall still able to glove it, and Gregson blows play dead. Just 8 seconds into the Winnipeg man advantage.
Very quick whistle. As soon as Hextall caught the puck, immediately the whistle was blown. Didn't give him an opportunity of shooting it down the ice. Probably wouldn't have done it anyway with Drake and Janney both right beside goaltender Hextall.
Brind'Amour and Kachuk. Andy Benton gave the pump fake. And so they'll have to try to do it again. And Brind'Amour got it to Desjardins. Desjardins throws it around the boards, and out to center ice it goes. Jamnoff, cross ice for Newman. Now the Jets will organize the power play rush. See Jamnoff left it in his own. Kachuk nearly skated up to center. He had to go back and get it. Now Kachuk drops it back to Jamnoff as the Jets are having trouble here, and Brind'Amour able to poke it away. Now the Jets finally get it by Brind'Amour, and it's Janney. Janney to the red line. Loose stick. Flyers have lost. Bodine and lost the stick, and the Jets go offside. Big break for Philadelphia.
You know, there's so many pros and cons in what to do once you lose your stick. I remember when Fred Shiro was coaching, said go to the bench, get another one. It only takes a few seconds rather than stay out on the ice, because it's very difficult to check somebody without a stick. And we would have been tested on that theory, but the Jets went offside on the play. Wow, that was very close.
Minute and 20 seconds remaining on the penalty to Chris Therrien. 15:40 in the third period. Flyers, John Druce chops it to the red line, but Jets quickly on it, and Jamnoff winds it in. Hextall stops it, turns, and fires it all the way down. He gets a lot of elevation there. Jets could not knock it down.
Well, that's one real big advantage that the Flyers have in the goaltending department, because Hextall handles the puck very well, and Dominic Roussel is not good at all at doing things like that.
Newman rolls it around. Flyers get to it, but Druce couldn't clear. Now Janney checked hard head first by Corkum. He's slow getting up, but appears to be all right. No call, and Jamnoff has the puck. Jamnoff wrapped up by Samuelson. Gets through. Penalty coming up. Flyers will be 2 men down. As Samuelson was beaten by Jamnoff, he hauls him down, and the Flyers now in some trouble. And now Drake and Samuelson come together. Corkum quickly in there. Swoboda as well. And it'll be interesting to see if Dallas Drake even things off, which would be a big mistake.
Now as Gregson slowly moves to the penalty box. Swoboda trying to plead the case for the Flyers, but to no avail.
Swoboda's getting the penalty.
Very tricky, and he makes a good move.
Yeah. Could have been either one, I suppose. Samuelson got him around the midsection. Swoboda got him out on the glove. Swoboda goes. 39 seconds remaining on Therrien's penalty. The Jets up by 1, look to add to the lead.
A big part of the hockey game right now. So the defense with goaltender Hextall, very important to shut the gate. Flyers will use that inverted triangle as they have throughout the year, with 2 forwards playing high, 1 defenseman playing right between the 2 goalposts.
Lindros, Desjardins, Brind'Amour, the trio out. Lindros and Kachuk on the face-off, and it is chopped out by Lindros and all the way down. That's a big play. Waste a lot of time off the 2-man advantage. By the time the Jets get it back, the Philadelphia zone, less than a half minute will remain in it. Here's Jamnoff. Jamnoff to the line, drops it off for Stapleton. Stapleton forced by Lindros, all the way behind the net. Lindros now poking at it. It pops free. Desjardins will play it up the glass and all the way down.
What a play by Lindros. Boy, he read that perfectly, and his super strength just stripped that puck away from Stapleton.
There's 5 seconds remaining in the 2-man advantage. Jamnoff moving in. Jamnoff to Kachuk. Kachuk holding. Goes all the way around behind. And just drops it off for Janney, his office. Janney 5-on-4 now. Janney holding. Gets it to Jamnoff. Shot saved by Hextall. And now Brindamore a chance to clear. Turns and got it by Jamnoff all the way down.
And while that was happening, Chris Therrien did an excellent job of knocking Kachuk flying behind the net as he continues to use that strength to knock opposing players down.
Less than a minute remaining now in the 5-on-4 as Newmanen blasts in. Hextall cuts it off, turns, and clears it all the way down.
He has so much confidence doing that, Hextall.
He's fearless.
You know, it's very difficult controlling that puck going around the boards because it's always spinning when it hits the goaltender's stick.
Turnover by Corkum, 3-on-2. Shannon, right wing Stapleton, pass to Korolev, the shot, Hextall, rebound, he fired it wide. Rolls to Madsen at the point, cross ice. Now the pass to Stapleton, holding, shot well wide. Now Shannon gets to the puck, and the interception by Corkum, and he'll fire it all the way down. That leaves just 12 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Davidovsky hustling back.
And that should give the Flyers an enormous lift. They kill off these 2 penalties.
Davidovsky, the pass, that's knocked down by Podine. Svoboda joins play, Flyers back to full strength. A turnover, though, by Podine, and here is Eastwood. Eastwood moving in. Eastwood swings wide, stops, centers! Korolev too deep to get the shot off. Now Korolev checked by Therrien. Korolev, though, knocking Therrien's clearing attempt down. Brindamore gets to Samuelson. Samuelson just clears. That goes all the way down. This will be icing on the Flyers, but the Flyers have withstood 5-on-3 and significant 5-on-4 time. They're still down by just 1.
No! Do it! Never! And I will! No! Ah! No! Ah!
Drink Bud Ice, but beware the penguins.
Life rarely imitates orange cones. Orange cones, however, can be made to imitate life. At Lexus, we've created a suspension system so advanced, it's smooth when you want it to be, and responsive when you need it to be. The 1996 LS400. Unthinkable, except by Lexus.
Ever in the regular season between the Winnipeg Jets and the Philadelphia Flyers. As we mentioned earlier, you should really call the Flyers premium seating department now. You can get your club box seats, and that's the way you can get lower level seats and great amenities all at the same time. The number 215-389-9500. Flyers' objective right now to equalize this one. They trail by a goal. They're back to full strength. 12 and a half remaining. In the third, here's Desjardins. Headmanning to Brindamore. Brindamore finds a cutting Podine. Podine races after the puck. Podine now looks to carry deep, but Madsen wraps him up. Behind the net, Podine still after it with Brindamore. And it's Brindamore who comes with it. Centered for Falloon. Falloon seemed to take a step the other way. And so the pass ended up off the mark. Jamnoff stopped at the line. It's onside, they say. There's Shannon winding and firing the save by Hextall. Brindamore up the board. Not out. Nope, Madsen couldn't keep it in, and now as he plays it in, it's offside.
Sunday at 8:30, Corey gets a job at the hospital and accidentally unplugs the patient's heart monitor on Kirk on WB17, home of the WB television network.
A youngster enjoying the hockey game, I think.
I want some candy and popcorn.
Wants 5 goals by the Jets. See, that's what he's done. But Pat Falloon has had several great chances, twice expanded, and the last time just couldn't quite get to the pass.
Well, that one I think hit the referee's skate and carried away from Pat Falloon.
Alice Eakins fires it back into the Flyers zone. Hextall stops it for Svoboda. Svoboda to Dykhouse. Dykhouse banks it. Eakins bats at it. Davidovsky couldn't play it. Platt does. Platt hooked from behind just enough so that he could not gain control. But Davidovsky gives it away to Quinn. Quinn for Klatt in the slot. He didn't see it coming. And Eastwood able to get it to King. And King flutters one to the Philadelphia zone. Svoboda back for it. Now Peter looking. Dykhouse. Dyke out to Quinn. Quinn circling. He has the Flyers goal. And Quinn now looking to move in. Does so inside, outside. Shot! Save Roussel, and he covers up with DeMaio. Trying to dig it free. Great moves by Quinn, but Roussel has made some key stops in this one.
Well, Dan Quinn has had some jump tonight, especially after he scored the goal. Remember, Jim, we always said there's a fine line when you're having difficulty scoring, and then all of a sudden you get one. It's like a new lease on life. And for Dan Quinn, some neat little moves. Got the backhand shot away. Eakins, only 16 games in the National Hockey League. Those played with St. Louis this season. And he playing his first game in a Jet uniform.
Here is Hawerchuk and Tkachuk. Samuelson pinches. They get the puck to Drake, but he couldn't clear by Leclerc. Kept it in the zone. His shot hit Newman, and Newman felt that one. He's a little bit banged up. Samuelson back to play it to Terrien. Here's Terrien. Backhands to Leclerc. John Leclerc gathers. Leclerc to Lindros. Lindros to Leclerc. Cutting. Taken down. No call. Lindros carries on around behind. Lindros center, and it went through Hawerchuk's leg. Now Samuelson is shot, and the net is off its moorings.
Manson's going to get a penalty, I believe.
And yes, the arm is up, and Gregson this time is being very demonstrative in his signal. He's waving Manson to the penalty bench area. Big chance for the Flyers.
Interference is the call as the net had come off its moorings. As the Lindros line had good opportunity in the offensive zone. Watch this play here. Just goes right by Dale Hawerchuk, right through his legs. And Manson, you can see, right beside Roussel, pushes the net off its moorings.
He's actually penalized for knocking Leclerc down. Good look at Jim Evers. Behind him is Dave Manson. Jim Evers, of course, one of the Flyers trainers.
Hit him! Punch him!
I don't think so. Turk will give him a line or two, though, maybe.
I think there's a petition between them, isn't there not? They'd have a hard time doing that. All right, power play for the Flyers.
Deidre Scoggins of Philadelphia, $100 jackpot available in the McDonald's power play payoff. Lindros, Leclerc, Quinn up front. Puck bounces to the corner. Quinn, Leclerc tried to reach for it. Eastwood instead reverses it around behind the other way to it Stapleton, and he fires a rocket shot by Desjardins all the way down. Hawerchuk and Desjardins are the point men. Flyers scored in their first power play. Failed in their last three. Here's Hawerchuk navigating to neutral, playing it in, but he played that one right to the Jets and clearing it all the way down with Finley. Finley watches now as Desjardins goes back. Desjardins moving it up to the red line, and he'll rip it in. Flyers now have to try to chase. It's Roussel coming out of his net, batting it to the corner. Desjardins pitches. Leclerc was knocked down. And now the Flyers go back to center, and mishandling Quinn and Hawerchuk. The puck goes all the way back into Hextall, and he'll play it around. Not much happening for the Flyers on this man advantage. They'll try on this rush. Here's Hawerchuk. Dale Hawerchuk, 10th all-time in points. He lost the puck. Drake couldn't clear on the first try, does on the second. 55 seconds remaining. Flyers are changing players. Here's Svoboda. Peter Svoboda with some speed to the neutral zone. Svoboda around one. The pass to Brindamore. Drop pass for Leclerc. Tipped. Hawerchuk kept it in. Got it to Brindamore. Back to Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk flubs and cross ice Svoboda. He'll wind. His pass tipped. Bounces. Leclerc tips it, and now it's Lindros. Lindros checked by Korolev. Korolev takes the puck away, but now Leclerc regains. Leclerc centered. Brindamore to Lindros. Cross ice. That one ended up going to the side of the net where Tverdovsky was waiting for it. He gets to Korolev, and they clear. Flyers seem to be rushing the passes just a bit. They were well set up there.
Like they're in a real big hurry to do it very quickly.
And now the pass here, Flyers are offside. Balloon tried to go inside the zone and come back out to get onside. Didn't get it done, and so faceoff will go all the way back to where that pass originated from with just 10 seconds remaining in the power play.
Yeah, during that power play, Flyers trying to thread it through skates and sticks, and a lot of times those points are open, and from that area you can really drip some shots. You know, Roussel has not had to handle very many screenshots in tonight's contest.
Brindamore gets the puck to Dykhouse. Flyers would have to hurry. There's 6 seconds remaining in the man advantage. There's a pass to Falloon, cutting in, but he lost the puck. Puck just will not stay on Falloon's stick in this game. There's Falloon now playing it behind the net. Brindamore after it, takes Finley off, but King's there to get the puck. But Falloon and Drews force the puck free. Falloon holding, centering for Brindamore, blocked off by Newman in. Now rolls to King, Svoboda knocked it away, but Manson has it. Here's a 2-on-1. King and Stapleton. Stapleton winds and fires, save Hextall. Svoboda got back. Oh, Dykhoff set flying into Stapleton. Falloon the other way. Matt Falloon, left wing feed for Brindamore. Moves in, onside. Brindamore holding. Pass to Drews. Tips away, comes back to him. Now Terry into the puck. Marion holds and fires a wrister. That one gloved by Roussel. Would have gone off the outside of the net anyhow. And now Terry in and Kachuk, and then in comes Eakins, and we've got another gathering along the boards as these teams push and shove. Kachuk has some words for Terry as the conversation continues.
Al, ball player at 9 o'clock.
Oh, rookie. First time at bat.
How do you play the daily number?
Rookie Al, you called it! Al, Big Al. Al the man. Al the king.
Let's see. Box it. I'm feeling lucky tonight.
Oh, lucky. He considers himself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
The Pennsylvania Lottery's daily number. Play it pair, box, or play it straight.
Those who own the finest the world has to offer expect a lot from their cars. Impeccable service, precise engineering, flawless in every detail. So it is telling that 2/3 of LS 400 owners purchase another Lexus. With the highest customer loyalty in its class, the LS 400 offers a custom fit in an off-the-rack world. Unthinkable, except by your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
I've never seen so many altercations after a whistle. A lot of it has been orchestrated by the Winnipeg Jets. As soon as there's a whistle, they have shoved sticks and gloves and everything at the Flyers. And maybe that's the game plan for Simpson and his hockey club. But what a change in attitude from one game to the next, because it had been a complete turnaround by the Jets hockey club.
They lead it 2-1. Less than 8 minutes to play now. All power play goals. Corkum gets the puck to Samuelson. Shot, hit a body. DeMaio can't get his stick free in front. As Thompson had him tied up, and so the puck harmlessly out to the neutral zone. Samuelson just playing it in. Brent Thompson to play. Thompson's clearing attempt. Moves to Kachuk, and he plays it in. Racing back is Terry, but Drake gets there first. Drake holds. Centers! They score! Craig Janney! And the Jets lead 3-1.
A huge goal for the Winnipeg Jets. And the Flyers allowed Drake plenty of time to make a play. How quickly it moved just off the boards. Kachuk just bouncing it off the boards. Now watch Drake. He just waits and has time to make the play. Just dumps it in front of the net. And Janney somehow gets his stick on the puck because he is well covered by Trent Klatt. Klatt was all over him. And Hextall had committed. He was down and just kind of shoveled it over the shoulder. So Janney his 14th, and the Jets had a 3-1 lead.
Janney's second game as a Winnipeg Jet has been much better than his first. He was the worst player on the ice in his first. Now he has a 3-point evening going. There's Lindros chopping away at a puck in front. It goes wide. In comes Haller. Pokes it to Leclerc, but he is ridden off. And the Jets have it, and here's Kachuk pushing it ahead. Now racing out is Hextall. And he plays it by Kachuk right to Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk will wind and blast. He blasted right to Finley. And now Finley gathers and floats it high over the head of Kachuk through the neutral zone. 7 minutes remaining. Flyers now need 2 to equalize. Hawerchuk to Lindros. Lindros back to Hawerchuk. Lindros is chopped down. The shot by Hawerchuk goes wide. Haller sends a shot and deflected right into the crease area. Wide open was the net. Flyers couldn't bury it. Now Dykhoff winding and firing. Save Roussel. The rebound again was there. But again, the Flyers were not. And the Jets just chop it off the boards all the way down. In on Hextall. Again, Hextall to Lindros. Lindros, who's been given a rough ride a couple of occasions in this game, Plays it back to his own line. Dykeout's having all kinds of problem with the linesman. Never did get the puck by him. And it's played in by Chris King, who was the checker on that last Lindros collision. The crowd is letting him know they appreciate it. Lindros is still on the ice. Run again by Kilger. Eric Lindros is getting run at time and time again here. Flyers are onside. Podine will play it in. Manson after it. Podine gets a stick there. Ties him up. And out Balloon. Balloon twists and turns. Balloon tried to center it. Just bounces to the side of the net. And then Podine drilled from behind by Thompson. And again, here we go. I mean, Gregson's allowing all this stuff, so the Flyers are going to go ahead and do it.
That's amazing what has happened here with the Jets all kind of bravery in their attack. They have just tried to hit every single Flyer that moved.
Well, after this two-game road trip, the Flyers are back home. Finish off the month of March on Monday the 25th against Hartford, and then they have a home game the 31st. A couple more road games. That game against Pittsburgh. Ticket information, call Ticketmaster 215-336-2000.
The Flyers need some very quick goals. They're two behind with only 5:55 left to go. And Dominic Roussel was very slow in getting up. He had Podine on top of him. One of the Jets trying to clear the front of the net. Podine ended up right on top of Roussel and knocked the wind out of him there for a moment.
By the way, Keith Tkachuk has also got an assist on Janney's goal along with Drake, so Tkachuk has himself a three-point evening as well, a goal and 2 assists. And Toski out for a rare shift in this third period after the puck in the corner. Stapleton trying to check him now. Quinn, Manson, they're all in there now. It bounces to Haller. He'll wind up and fire. Never got through the jam up of players in the circle. Here's Stapleton now just firing to the Flyer zone. Desjardins hustles back to get to it. Desjardins chipping, and Toski gloves and now skates up with it. One hands it to Desjardins. Desjardins swinging wide. Centers in front. Unable to get a shot off, though, is Platt. Bruce, actually that was Bruce with the chance, but he never got the shot off. And Thompson then clears the puck into the Philadelphia zone at the other end. Now Desjardins. Pass behind Quinn, and Drake moves in. Dallas Drake flings one airborne to the corner. Sean Bodine to it. Crashing into him was Drake. Tkachuk gets to the puck. Tkachuk centers, shot, score! Janney again! This line is destroying the Flyers, their 4th goal. And then it's 4-1.
And to the delight of a packed house, the Winnipeg Jets, and that's going to be denied tonight. After just an awful game against San Jose, they have regrouped and have now scored 4 goals against the Flyers, with Janney getting his 2nd goal. Just a step out by Tkachuk right onto the stick of Janney, who beats goaltender Hextall. So it has been an explosion from that line.
A desperate hockey team, these Winnipeg Jets, and they are playing like it. Janney and Tkachuk both 4-point evenings. There's Bodine. They get in, but Manson cuts it off. Manson now finds Shane Doan. Dallas Drake getting the other assist on that goal. Here is a pop fly that goes into the crowd. Over that of Extall. It's out of play. They'll face it off in the neutral zone. Janney is added 2 here in the third. The Jets a 4-1 lead over the Flyers.
This is the latest video game we're developing, and this is our inspiration. My Volkswagen Jetta. 0 down, $219 a month. Excellent. When you write code for 15 hours straight, you gotta get out. The Jetta is a real German road car with plenty of room for 4 carbon-based life forms. It's got dual airbags, daytime running lights, and side impact door beams. Because in real life, there is no reset button. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Hello?
How's your butt ice? Doobie, doobie.
That's the third one tonight.
It's okay. The police are tracing the call. Hello?
This is the police. Those calls are coming from inside the house. Repeat, those calls are coming from inside the house.
Drink Bud Ice, but beware of the penguins.
Sir? Sir?
A very spirited hockey club, the Winnipeg Jets. I guess they could read the scoreboard that Anaheim was leading, so they needed a win tonight over the Flyers to maintain that 1-point lead.
Alice Drake's been a big part of it as he is enjoying playing in a line with Janney and Tkachuk. Who wouldn't? Drake with 3 points. Janney and Tkachuk, as we mentioned, with 4 each. That is 11 points for that line. Flyers get there to cancel the icing. Lindros checked again. This time Finley bumped him. Now Lindros knocks Drake down. Lindros holding. Pass to Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk tried to center, but it knocked down by Newman. Jets have really cut off the passes in tight by the Flyers. Here is Leclerc. Turning, firing. It's blocked. It bounces high in the air. Lindros knocked out. Dykhouse to the puck. And they call that a hand pass. Hand pass on the Flyers. And Lindros has to plead his case to Terry Gregson. And now, what is this? Over comes Lindros. Has 2 Jets now as Tkachuk jumps him from behind. And away we go with a massive pile-up. Got to watch your hands here. Lindros is really hot now.
He's after Tkachuk.
Well, no, Tkachuk got him from behind. He's after the other player. His jersey is all
I guess it's Drake.
Yeah, it's Drake. Not so sure it wasn't. Newman and Finley, Janney, they're out there. Not exactly the fighting type. Tkachuk can handle himself. He and Hawerchuk are just watching things. And now Drake, who didn't appreciate, I guess, getting checked by Lindros earlier on, skates away, and Gregson will send Lindros off too, I guess. He's not listening to Eric. If he calls this just concurrent minors, this will be another Terry Gregson special.
Well, we saw Tkachuk jump in during an altercation. We'll see what he gets.
Svoboda now, Tkachuk now. He wants to go with Lindros, evidently. 2 of the premier young players in the National Hockey League, and they both can throw punches pretty well. And at this particular time, they're just going to go off to the penalty bench area. Tkachuk being sent to the bench, perhaps to the locker room.
I think he's finished because he was the 3rd man in an altercation.
3:53 remaining. But Tkachuk, more than anything, making a statement for his team there, feeling they have the game wrapped up. In our minds, Tkachuk should have been out of the game a long time ago when he jumped Peter Svoboda, but when the game was up for grabs, Gregson didn't make that call.
So now the collection of sticks and gloves. Now the players knew that this would be a very tough contest because anytime a player and the team is criticized for the way they play, 2 things are going to happen. You either show the pride that has to come out, or what good are you? And the Winnipeg Jets did respond to the delight of a packed house here in Winnipeg.
Roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Well, we've talked about the fact that this is it for the Winnipeg Jets, their final year in Winnipeg, and during the All-Star break, the Jets players, their wives, and several of the staff members were sent to Phoenix, and they actually got to visit the American West Arena where the Phoenix franchise will play, got to watch the Suns practice, and I got a look at the temperatures that day, a little bit of a difference, 74 degrees in Phoenix, and then you make your way down to Winnipeg, and it was 1. Kathy McKenzie enjoyed it.
We're really excited just because it's so cold. Like, it is freezing there. You have no idea. So everyone's really excited to come here and be outside more, and we're really looking forward to coming here.
We're going to do everything we can to make you feel at home and get you ready for next season. And good luck the rest of the way. We want you to make the playoffs. That's important. Make the playoffs so we can mark it. And we'll do a good job in filling up the building for you next year. Thank you.
And Phoenix Hockey. They'll have a nickname sooner or later. They'll have to come up with one. Right now it's just called Phoenix Hockey, and Queen Elizabeth will, I'm sure, not adorn the American West Arena down in Phoenix. I think she will see her last NHL hockey from high above the Winnipeg Arena sometime later this spring.
Well, you know, one guy that feels really pretty good about tonight has to be Dominic Roussel. You know, playing against his former teammates and coming up with a stellar performance. He has stopped 23 of 24 shots directed at him. Pete Peters has been working a lot with Dominic Roussel. He's looked very steady, very sharp in the net tonight.
The heated discussion going on at the Flyers bench. The penalties all equal out. Roughing on Drake, roughing on Lindros. 10-minute misconducts on Lindros and Tkachuk. So Lindros is effectively done for the game, as is Tkachuk. Drake gets the roughing, then of course everything cancels out, and Terry Murray, as expected, not happy with that call, because again, a player goes after Lindros, one of the premier players, and there's no protection from the men in striped shirts.
Well, I think
this will not happen for Eric.
You know, talking to different players and coaches, there's a lot of confusion going on about the officiating and the consistency of the calls that have taken place this year. I mean, they are under such stringent rules, the officials, that they have to make those obstruction calls, and it really takes away from having a feel for the game, something that is very important to a referee.
The Delaware Valley Mercedes-Benz dealers are giving it all they've got in support of the Flyers' wives fight for lives. Of course, Gary, in this particular instance, it's pure judgment. There's no obstruction about this call, and he just did not feel as though that was initiated by the Jets, but it clearly was. They've been initiating a lot in this game. They've shown spirit, which they had to show, and they've been allowed to do that, and so they've kept on doing it. Here's Leclerc trying to make a move. Poke check, Svoboda nudged it forward. Now Finley able to poke it out to the neutral zone. 3.5 minutes remaining. Flyers down by 3. Here's Leclerc now moving in. Finley chasing him. Leclerc turns. No one to go to. And now Leclerc checked. Still with that good strength, able to hand off to Svoboda. Svoboda rolls it around. Hawerchuk just watches the puck, and that allows the Jets to move up. Here's Newmanen. It's 2-on-1. Janney with him. Newmanen moving in. Tried to center Dykhouse. Knocked it away. Now Dykhouse to Hawerchuk. Winnipeg Jet veteran will end up their all-time leading scorer as no one's close to him. Stopped here, and Newmanen able to push it to the neutral zone. Leclerc knocks it away to Hawerchuk, quickly to Brind'Amour. Brind'Amour tried to make the move, but Madsen stopped him. And Eastwood gets to Shannon. Shannon in. Shannon holds his pass. Save. Hextall went right in on goal. He was hoping for a redirection from Eastwood. Now Eastwood by Brind'Amour. Falloon able to poke it free. Falloon wrapped up from behind by Eastwood. Kicks it now to Brind'Amour. Kevin Haller. Haller back to Brind'Amour. And Rod Brind'Amour fans. He lost it right in front. Was able to stab it free to Quinn. And Quinn has the only goal for the Flyers. Power play goal that gave them a 1-0 lead, but the Jets have answered with 4 straight. Brind'Amour to Falloon. Falloon just swiped the puck back deep, but couldn't get to it, and Eastwood had it. And now Eastwood around the forechecking of Quinn, plays to Brent Thompson, and Thompson feathers it in the Flyers zone.
You know, it's been one of those nights for Pat Falloon because the puck has followed him around, but he just hasn't been able to finish his plays around goaltender Dominic Roussel.
This is, by the way, the Flyers. Samuelson moving it up now. Five-a-side hockey I had not said before, but because of the misconducts, they had not been affected. Now here is Corkum. And he'll play it in. Here is Roussel, dropping it off for Tverdovsky. Tverdovsky plays to Drake, and Drake plays it in. Hextall will let it go. Crowd beginning to cheer. 1:25 remaining. Terry into Samuelson. And Samuelson will play it in. It is back to five-a-side hockey as those penalties actually were enforced, but have run their course. The Flyers have it. Centering pass. Corkum shot deflected. Bounces high in the air. Bruce gets to it. On Drews to Leclerc. Leclerc centers. Drews and Corkum kicking at it, but it hopped on through Corkum. Now Kilgore with a check on Bruce. Leclerc to the puck, muscles his way in front. Shot saved by Roussel. Now Corkum taken to the boards by Tverdovsky. Leclerc again, great strength. Got it in front for the shot. Save Roussel. And he covers up. Credit John Leclerc. He is not giving up. Showing great strength and effort there to get scoring chances.
John Leclerc is almost unstoppable when he gets that big frame winding around the net, using that as kind of a pick. But time and time again, John Leclerc has exhibited tremendous strength, getting those shots away on the wraparound. But this game, this night, has belonged to the Jets. Shots are even at 26. And the one line has done all the damage for the Jets, Janney, Tkachuk, and Drake.
Brind'Amour batted it to DeMaio. DeMaio tied up by Brent Thompson. Brind'Amour and DeMaio continue to scratch and claw. DeMaio tried to center, but King cut it off. And King now to Stapleton. Stapleton's pass finds Eastwood, couldn't handle. Lakehouse quickly back to Sean Antoski. Antoski and King out for this late shift. Manson out there as well. Here's Brind'Amour with the puck centered. Dykhouse laid it back out to center. Svoboda now. Circle back with it. And Svoboda plays it in. Thompson cutting it up and feathering it out the crowd. It's remaining cheering the Jets after they were dominated by the Sharks 2 nights ago. They have come back for a big win over one of the top teams in the National Hockey League. Manson plays it to Thompson as time runs out in the hockey game. And the Winnipeg Jets with a huge win. The Flyers' 4-game unbeaten streak, on the other hand, has come to an end.
And it was an important game for the Winnipeg Jets to win. They play Colorado on Sunday, and then they go on a 4-game road trip. And they maintain that 1-point lead over the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So the Jets victorious tonight over the Flyers by a 4-1 count.
Tonight's third period from Winnipeg was brought to you by your local Dodge dealers. Come in today because we know how to help. Well, after our broadcast, Inquirer News tonight follows. Let's get a preview now from Steve and Tony.
Thanks, Jim and Gary. I'm Steve Highsmith.
And I'm Tony Yates. Just ahead on Inquirer News tonight, an undercover FBI agent is killed in a shootout with a suspected drug dealer today near Penn's Landing. Charles Reed is the first FBI agent ever killed in Philadelphia.
The House today votes to repeal the ban on assault weapons. The vote drew the wrath of Mayor Ed Rendell, who waved a street sweeper while promising to help defeat area congressmen who backed the repeal.
And new $100 bills go into circulation Monday. The government says the old ones are just too easy to counterfeit.
Details of these stories, plus Randall goes job hunting in St. Louis, and we'll have Larry's weekend forecast. All that after we return to Winnipeg to wrap up tonight's Flyers game after this message.
On Sister Sister, Lisa and Ray are sharing memories.
Here's a class picture.
But the sharing doesn't stop there. How will they remember their special moment?
Did you slip a Mickey into my Slim Fit?
Sister Sister! Then, Kirk unleashes Corey on an unsuspecting hospital.
Conscientious, he's very good with his hands.
Now, it's terror in the ER. What are we going to do? I don't know. Kirk after Sister Sister, part of Savannah Sunday.
Sunday at 8 on WB 17.
For a limited time, your Tri-State Mitsubishi dealers are pulling out all the stops so you can go, getting a lot. For $199 a month, only 30 months.
Go get a Galant.
Only $199 a month, 30 months. A tremendous value for your money. So what are you waiting for?
Go
right now and get a 96 Galant S.
Go get a Galant.
Just $199 a month, only 30 months. For a limited time and only at your Tri-State Mitsubishi dealers.
Hugh McAddick here with presidential hopeful Mike Hall. Mike, what are your views on McDonald's Filet-O-Fish and McChicken sandwich?
Well, I stand for the... What?
Don't you just love them? And they're on sale. Right now, get a Filet-O-Fish or McChicken for just 89 cents when you buy large fries.
That's great, but America craves change.
That's why I crave them. They're a great change of pace. Or in the morning, get a sausage McMuffin with egg for 89 cents.
But what about the issues? Issues?
Bless you. The Great American Sandwich Sale for a very short time at McDonald's.
As we returned to camp, we were surprised to find a family of vervet monkeys who had evidently found a new plaything. The vervets had figured out how to open the sunroof, adjust the air conditioning, and even turn on the stereo. The Vervet's intelligence, however, was ultimately called into question as our Beethoven and Rachmaninoff CDs were left untouched. The preceding has been brought to you by the all-new Nissan Pathfinder, now with even more amenities for you to play with.
The Winnipeg Jets needed a big victory, and they got it tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers by a 4-1 count. And it was the Janny Kachuk-Drake line that did all the scoring. And the Bud Ice player of the game goes to Craig Janny. 2 goals and 2 assists for a 4-point game. On this play, Drake sets him up, and that was the 3-1 goal. He is well covered by Trent Klatt, but still manages to get his stick on it. Then Kachuk finds Janny cruising into the slot and one-times it past a screen Hextall. The line also contributed to the check of the game with Kachuk ramming into Eric Lindros and knocking him down. So Keith Kachuk is the Core State great check kick of the game.
Well, the Flyers certainly would have liked to have said goodbye to the Winnipeg Arena in a better way than this. But, Gary, we talked about it before the game. You had to expect that this Jets team was going to be very hungry and very determined to win this one, and they came out and played a solid game.
Well, anytime you get criticized, Jim, and for your play and the way you performed in front of your hometown fans, you better perform and you better play hard, and that's exactly what the Winnipeg Jets did. You know, they played a very sound, very physical game, and they got outstanding goaltending for goaltender Dominic Roussel.
Those are the numbers of the game. The shots ended up favoring the Jets by 1.
And the scoring chances, 18, scoring chance of 13 by the Flyers. Flyers again dominating in the faceoffs. Each team made 12 giveaways, but look at the hitting department. The Jets 41-28. So that gives you an idea of the physical aspect of this hockey game, especially by the Winnipeg Jets.
And so the Flyers will have to regroup. It's a very quick turnaround for them, flying into Toronto, getting into their hotels about 4 o'clock, and then it's the Maple Leafs tomorrow night at Maple Leaf Gardens. The final again, Winnipeg 4, the Flyers 1. Back to wrap it up from Winnipeg after this.